Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to episode 88 of the ItsObviousGaming podcast. I'm your host, Preston Pugh, and I'm joined by my three best friends, Garrett Drake.
Gentlemen, I am surrounded by my three best friends on the face of the earth, and we're about to discuss video games, which are some of my favorite things on the face of the earth, and I'm very excited about it.
Jacob Alka.
Hello.
And Zach Bynum.
Good evening. It's great to be back.
Oh, yeah, man.
It's always great to have you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And if you're a regular viewer of the ItsObviousGaming podcast, I'm sure you've caught Zach on a few of our episodes, but it's been quite a while, and we are very happy to have him back here. The original what is that called? The
Quadtuplet.
Quadtuplet is back.
Is that what it is?
No, it's
Sure.
just the first word that came to mind.
I know quintuplet is 6, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's a sextuplet. I think so.
I thought 5 was sextuplet.
No.
Quin's 5. So quadruple?
Sure.
No, quadruple duple.
Before we make ourselves
quadcast.
like bigger retards, how's your week been, Garrett, specifically?
Well, mine's been just as boring as the last few weeks have been. I just worked and went to school the whole time. I didn't play any games except for Resident Evil, which we'll talk about in a bit, I guess. But I was actually interested in hearing from Zachary over there. How's life in the Sunshine State been treating you since the last time we spoke?
Well, Florida is Florida, and that's that. This weekend's real exciting because this is the most time I've spent in my hometown where I escaped from.
Yeah, congrats on escaping your hometown.
I'm pretty much a pop punk king now. This would be the first time that I've spent this much time here in a year.
Mm-hmm.
A little over a year, actually. So that's really nice. It's nice to be back and hanging out with the boys every night.
Yeah, we've been hitting most of the beats. We've been to Central Park to play basketball.
That's right.
We've been to the local Waffle House.
That's right. I've been to Zaxby's now.
Yes. We will inevitably end up at Evans for FIFA tournaments on the projector this evening.
We will.
We will also be dining, the four of us, a wonderful, delicious feast at the local Taco Bell,
Incredible.
our old stomping ground.
That's right.
Afterwards, we're very excited.
That's right.
And it's been magical. And the only thing we haven't done that was the main objective of your trip is work on music.
Make more music. But
and that is
we
not
both
happened.
knew that was coming.
Right. But I'm sure we'll have, before you leave, we'll have at least a few hours to mess around.
That's fine.
So
And
good to have you
summits.
back.
And summits.
And
at
summits,
some
of course.
point.
That's crucial.
Yes.
It may be our last supper before you head back to
Makes me very sad.
the South.
What day are you leaving?
Monday night or Tuesday afternoon. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Dude, I haven't been to Summits in forever, and I'm like here.
Why don't you go with us?
You should
come
do that.
out of your way on probably Monday or maybe tomorrow. How do you feel about tomorrow?
I definitely can't do tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Because
Garrett.
I
Do
get
you
off
even
at
realize?
listen, hear me out for a second. I get off at a decent hour, and I'm going to celebrate with
Wait, when do
everyone
you get
for the
off?
Falcons.
When do you get off?
11:45.
Really?
Yeah, and then I'll be headed home.
Well.
Party's happening, boys. I'm
We
excited
might be
about
able
wow.
to do like early lunch, like meet you at Summits.
it. Okay, yeah, we'll figure out something. But it's great to have you back. Sorry, Jacob, I just smacked you in the leg. If I'm being honest, it aroused me a bit. But
Me too.
I apologize. So,
Yeah.
how was your week, Jacob?
It was good. Yeah, can't complain. Nothing bad happened, as I've been saying the last few weeks.
Nothing. No, are you always like nervous something bad's gonna happen?
I don't know.
You're making me
I'm just
nervous.
saying that nothing bad
happened.
happened. You know,
I'm glad to
I'm
hear
living
it.
a good
great.
life.
Well, did
so.
anything good happen? And I don't mean good as in like something exciting. I just mean in general. Did you have a moment in any of your days this past week that you were like, hey, that's a memorable moment that made
Not
it a
really.
day to remember?
I literally just did the same thing that I always do.
Did any
You
best
wake
friends
up,
come back in town?
This is what you do. You wake up, you eat eggs and something else. You watch a Twitch streamer, and you maybe play a game for a bit. Then you go to the
No.
gym. You go to the gym at
You're
some
already
point,
wrong.
and then you come home.
Wrong. Lives at the gym.
Wrong.
Eats nothing
Man,
but
I don't know
eggs.
you at all, Jacob.
Wrong.
You still haven't told me what you're doing for a living right now. It's really creeping me
Wrong.
out.
You still
I
don't
haven't told
know?
anybody.
No.
You haven't told anybody? What about your parents?
He's told Casey, maybe. No, you've told
Okay.
Evan, haven't you? Okay. That's how I think I know what it is, but you don't have
It's
to tell
not
me.
much different than what's happening right here.
Right.
Video camera and a couple boys.
Wrong.
That's what we assume.
Wrong. Whatever floats your goat, Jacob.
I'm very secretive.
That's all
Right
right. It's kind of strange considering the fact that I've known you for a long time. But, yeah, whatever. Preston, how's your week?
Fine, I guess. I was in Minnesota.
Minnesota, eh?
Minnesota,
Oh, yeah.
Did you talk to many people that talk like that?
Yes,
Okay.
quite a few.
Now, is Minnesota
I think
where
I'm adding
Fargo
the A.
takes place?
What's that?
Is Minnesota where Fargo takes place?
I think that's South Dakota.
Okay, because wherever they talk in the movie Fargo,
Or maybe
it
that's
is
North Dakota.
It is
It's one of
fascinating.
the Fargo's in one of the Dakotas.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I was
If I'm wrong,
It was
North
cold
Dakota.
as balls
North
up
Dakota.
there. I was freezing.
Snowing the whole time. right?
Yeah, it was really cold. I worked
How was that job?
fine,
Okay.
really easy.
When'd you get home?
Thursday night.
Oh, wow. That's not too
Yeah,
bad.
the flight home sucked ass. I got a connecting flight to Chicago, and then I had to come through there. Like it was just a very long process that was very annoying. And I hate the connecting flights because it never fails that like one of the first one is always running late. So I like have to sprint like with all my power to like get to the next one before it takes off, and that is just a very stressful situation that I
well,
don't
at least
like.
all your trips home have been exciting adventures the past few times.
Yeah, I guess.
If you look at it in that lens.
I didn't have to like ride public transportation to get here this
Right.
time. I was actually at the airport with a ton of time to spare. Just that a connecting flight got me. Almost missed it, but thankfully I made it.
So you didn't have to hit on any girls for directions this time?
No, not this time.
Okay.
Not this time.
Oh!
Whoa. Hey, by the way, this coffee's really good.
Oh, I'm glad. It's actually very generic coffee. It's just dark roast from Starbucks.
Nice.
But I brewed it myself.
It's a good brew.
I'm glad to hear it.
So I finally got into. I think we talked about it a few podcasts ago, or I was actually getting into black coffee. Because I like.
You want a sip of this?
No, I do not. I do
Fine.
not
No,
want that.
put it away.
Is it black?
It is.
I'll take a sip.
Racist.
Now, it's a little lukewarm, to be honest, because I let it sit for a while.
Yeah, it tastes like black coffee. Black coffee tastes like tomatoes to me now.
Tomatoes?
It's that acidity in it is similar to tomatoes.
Okay,
you're saying it's gross.
So if you made a sandwich, you could just put some
coffee
You
on
could
it.
just put some coffee on it, and you could put some root beer, and you just now have pepper and tomato.
pepper
on
Right, I was going to
Tomato
say, so
sandwich,
let's reiterate here.
Yeah.
So to you, Sprite tastes like lettuce water.
I like Sprite though.
Sprite's great,
It's just
but
you
my
like lettuce
uncle
water.
pointed it out that like Sprite tastes like lettuce, so that's all I can taste now. But I still like Sprite.
root beer, you call it like pepper
It
juice.
tastes like pepper.
Yeah, you don't like root beer.
It's water and pepper.
And now coffee is your tomato juice.
Yes,
You just mix all those together. You just drink a sandwich.
You got a sub
right.
sandwich and a beverage.
you're right.
Yeah.
I just have to find something that tastes like bread now.
You can just soak it in bread. Just dip a breadstick in there.
So I was trying to drink black coffee due to the start of my morning. Get my, just get awake and stuff. Well, coffee goes right through me, and I just have like horrible like diarrhea every
pretty
single
common.
morning.
I
So,
look forward to that. I get a shot of espresso every morning, and it
Mm-hmm.
just runs right through me. It's an incredible experience. It's put me on a normal cycle every morning.
Well, see, some of the places I'm at, I really don't want to take a poop. If I'm at home, by all means, like I'll take a dump every 30 minutes if I have to. But when I'm out of town and stuff, like I don't like hitting the bathroom too much. So I've been taking a nice little caffeine pill, about 200 milligrams of caffeine, and it's been getting me very awake. It doesn't upset my stomach, and I like it a lot.
So you take pills instead of coffee now?
Yeah, I take one caffeine pill every morning, and
Interesting.
it helps me.
But I
get
like
going.
Love
It's a
coffee.
physical.
I don't.
It's a thing. It's a mental thing at this point.
That's what gets me out of bed in the
Yeah.
morning is that it sucks that I have to drive to work about an hour and a half, but at least I get my coffee and I can sip on that and listen to a podcast on the way.
I just wake
That's
up,
what gets me to
pop
and
a
from
pill,
work.
get to work. That's how I do it.
Man, you're
Nice.
real. You're really bringing me down right now.
Sorry, man.
It's all right. I'll get over it.
I will say that I didn't used to be able to drink black coffee until I got that French press, and I could taste the difference and how much better coffee could taste if it wasn't like out of a Keurig or something
Right,
like that.
yeah.
And then as soon as I made that, I was like, I'm just gonna drink this black. This tastes really good.
And one of my coworkers is like really into the French press stuff, and he'd always make us coffee.
Ryan?
He'd
He
make
makes
us
great coffee.
Yeah, every single morning. That was where I really started tasting the tomato, and I discussed it with him. And I wasn't crazy because he was like, "Oh yeah, it's due to the acidity." I haven't Google checked him on that, but I'm pretty sure that makes enough sense scientifically. So
Interesting.
yeah.
It's like that Always Sunny thing we were talking about yesterday, where Charlie's like, "We just got to bring all the trash back here and burn it. Smoke will go up and it'll make the stars." And then Mac's like, "I don't know enough about stars to refute that." So
What a great television show.
I know.
What have you been playing this week? All of us.
I've been playing. I did 2 platinums this week, so I'm proud of myself there. I platinumed Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I hopped back into that game for some reason. I told y'all the last time I was on here, and it's a good game. I liked it a lot. I think it did a lot of things well that Unity didn't do. But I'm thinking back on Unity, I actually liked some of the stuff that Unity did better than Syndicate, like the customization and stuff. That was kind of lacking in Syndicate and stuff. But I liked the the way that the leveling system worked up in Syndicate, where if you were trying to go into an area and fight guys that were like much higher level than you would absolutely get destroyed. I'm pretty sure that was in Unity, but like it felt way more like predominant in this game. So I platinumed that game. The story was just whatever. I could have like cared less what happened. There was this romance plot thrown in at the end. Evie, the girl, I mean, spoilers, but nobody gives a shit about Assassin's Creed Syndicate. She like falls in love with the one of the assassin dudes at the very end, and they smooch, and I'm like, where did that come from? It literally came out of nowhere. It felt super forced to me.
She didn't kiss her brother, did she?
No. That would have been more. I would have been way more interested at that.
Yeah,
because
I'd be into that, dude.
That would have. Yeah.
That's
that
why
would
we
have.
all are into Star Wars.
I
right?
could have. I could have seen
really
that
got me
building.
going.
This came out of nowhere though, so I was like, whatever. I didn't play this game for the story anyways. Got the platinum. It was fine. Cool. Whatever. Then on the way home, I was like, I really want something with my Vita, and I haven't really talked to you guys about this love-hate relationship I've had with my Vita recently. I just cannot get into playing games on my Vita, and it's annoying the crap out of me, and I finally figured out what the problem was.
Let's hear it.
I'm trying to play these console-quality games on the Vita. For instance, Final Fantasy X, these other Final Fantasies. Well, those are pretty much the only two. Well, no, Sly Cooper, for instance. It's like I'm playing these games that I would much rather be playing on a big screen on a console, and I just can't get into them on the Vita. These story-heavy games and stuff, excluding Sly Cooper. Story doesn't matter on that. But the big one is Final Fantasy. I got Final Fantasy X, and I really like it a lot, but I don't like playing it on the Vita. Granted, there's a remasters on the PlayStation 4 as well, so I might eventually pick it up for that. But anyways, I saw that Drinkbox Studio had this deal on the PlayStation Marketplace, and they're the developers of like Guacamelee, Severed, this other game called Alien Blobs from Space or something. I don't know. I never heard of the game. But it was like I could get all of those games for $25. I've heard Severed's great. I played a little bit of Guacamelee on the PS4, and the hour I played I thought was really fun. So I started playing Severed on the plane ride home, and holy crap, dude, what a great game. For Vita, it's a truly, you can't play this on your console like it. I know it's on iPhone and stuff as well, but it is the best touchscreen game I have ever played. The combat is super cool. All these enemies have completely different ways of beating them, different like weak points, different tactics and stuff, and you have to manage like going between all of them and stuff, and the way you attack is with the touch screen, and like longer strokes do more damage. If you eventually get a charge ability where you hold your finger on the screen and swipe and it does more damage. It sounds like a game that sounds super gimmicky with touch controls and stuff, and that I wouldn't like, but it was freaking awesome. I could not stop playing it, and it was just awesome. So I platinumed that. It was about 6 or 7 hours, and I absolutely loved it. So I definitely recommend that if you have a Vita. I haven't played a Vita game in a long time that like sucked me in so hardcore. So then I started playing Guacamelee on Vita, and that game's awesome too. I'm like 4 hours into that game, and I'll just pick it up when I'm like taking a dump or something, and I'm like walking out of the bathroom, and I play it for like another hour and stuff. So Drinkbox, that studio, they make kick-ass games.
They made both Guacamelee and Severed?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I freaking love those games. So I'm like playing a ton of that right now. So yeah, hats off to you guys. But besides that, when I got home, I booted up Resident Evil 7, and I've been playing that in VR, and I really, 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 really like that game. It is so awesome. It's way more Resident Evil-y than I thought it was going to be. It's scary as crap. I've almost pooped my pants a few times just with the family. I was telling Jacob I was in this one room going through my inventory, and Mr. Baker like Sparta kicked the door in, and I literally almost crapped my pants. And it's I think I heard y'all talking about it last week. This is a great sign for VR, showing that a full-on game like this actually works, and it works really well. And I really hope more developers look at this, especially people developing horror games, and decide to like implement VR into it, because a few amount of people are actually playing in VR. I think I read like 65,000 people like registered in Resident Evil Online actually played it and stuff, or at least tried it. But all the reviews have been 90% of what I read, they were very high on the VR. So it's good to see that a lot of people really aren't getting too nauseous, and they're seeing how fun this is and stuff. So, and it's crazy how different of a game it is in VR. I played it on just just standard, like without VR, and it just feels completely different knowing that you had literally like been in this space and then seeing it on a screen. It is like completely different, but I love that game. I can't wait to get back to it. So I'm taking it in like short bursts because I don't know, it just kind of gets like strenuous and stuff until I completely get used to the game and, you know, play through it at least once and I actually know what's coming up and stuff. But getting into a new area is just a whole nother level of stress where I'm like, oh, like, are there new enemies? Where are people going to be jumping
jump out and grab me?
Yeah, exactly. So it's awesome. Freaking love it. It's scary. So that's pretty much what I've been doing this week.
Excellent. Yeah, I as I mentioned, I have not been able to play anything with the exception of Resident Evil to make videos. But speaking of which, if anyone out there who's been keeping up with our walkthrough of that game on our YouTube channel, if you're wondering what's taking us so long to get through it, it's because for some reason, and this is the only game this happens, our capture card just does not like Resident Evil. I don't know if it's a combination between the game, the PSVR headset, or maybe both of them, I don't know, but there's been I'll say 3 or 4 times we've recorded where the capture card will look like it's working as normal, and it'll either just record the video without the audio, or it'll record the audio without the video, or sometimes it'll just be frozen on a frame the whole time for 45 minutes. So that's happened on 3 or 4 episodes where a couple of them we've reshot and made it through, but they just continue to happen, so it's delayed us exponentially. And I also hardly have any time to edit as is, so it's put us behind incredibly, and it really sucks. So that's why that's coming along so slow, but we are loving it. And funny story, which I'm gonna have to just throw in to like the intro of a new episode or something, but Jacob got to a part where he goes down into the basement, and this can kind of be a little spoilery, so fair warning, but he goes into a basement and there's a bunch of molded down there. If anyone doesn't know what the molded are, these big black creatures that have big teeth and claws, and they're like 9 feet tall, and they're horrific. And especially in VR. Well, the first time I saw them, I mean, I'd experienced them once in the midnight demo prior to the game's release, but I watched Jacob go into the basement. I was watching on TV screen. Jacob went down there and he was not having a good time. He was very tense. He was very mad because they're very scary and they kept killing him and attacking him. And I could tell he was very uncomfortable. The whole time I'm watching him, I'm thinking, this isn't that bad. Like, once you see them once, it's like, it's not a big thing. It's fine. So that we did that whole episode, and what happened? Oh, yeah, I just haven't edited it yet. That's why I haven't had time to edit it. Well, when I started up, we recorded an additional episode a couple days later, which this is the one that messed up, which is such a shame, was the way I reacted to these molded. So we started up, and I'm under the assumption that Jacob had beaten like this little mini boss that's in the basement, and he had already saved it, and I didn't have to do that again. So I'm going into the basement with the headset on, thinking, oh, they're already all dead. I can just run through this area. So I'm just running through. I'm like having a good old time doing our intro, talking to Jacob, like, yeah, everything's cool, man. And I come around this corner, and this molded is sprinting around the corner at me, growling. I screamed so hard and loud out of pure shock and horror that I completely flipped backwards out of my chair and into the green screen, and just on the floor screaming. Jacob's like crying, laughing, and I can hardly get up, and it's like still trying to attack me with a headset and everything. I'm like, ah! So it scared me to death, and it was so freaking funny. And the whole time I'm in the basement, they kept, because this is the scariest thing. It's one thing when they crawl out of a wall or the floor and start just slowly crawling at you, but every now and then they'll hop on all fours and just sprint at you. And it doesn't matter how many times you've seen it. Every time they do that, I panic. And I'm squealing like a girl the entire episode. And we made it through this big area. We did this big boss fight with Mr. Baker. It was awesome. And the whole episode was scrapped because our capture card tanked in the middle of it. So I can't use any of that, but I have the video clip of me squealing like a girl and falling out of my chair. So I'll include that somehow. But it was an unforgettable moment in its obvious gaming history that unfortunately won't be represented in the same fashion to the capture card. But other than that, still loving the game. We'll eventually get through it, and I look forward to eventually getting to play other games for fun, because I've only been able to play games for videos for the past several weeks, and it's killing me inside. And speaking of Guacamelee, I downloaded that a few weeks ago on a PSN flash sale or something, and I haven't got to it yet. But I don't even have time for Vita. It'd be one thing like, oh, I'm gone because I'm at work and school, but even when I'm gone, I have crap to do. So it's unfortunate, but I got to play a little Resident Evil. And I watched Jacob play Kingdom Hearts. But Jacob, that being said, what all did you play?
Well, besides the Resident Evil and the Kingdom Hearts that we did for videos, I've played... I jumped back to the Kingdom Hearts game on my phone. It's all right, you know. As people that have played it know, it's just okay. Like, it's cool to like see the little story they put together on the game, but you know, it's nothing like to write home about.
You can see Mickey shirtless in that one scene.
Well, I'm talking about the mobile game.
Okay, never mind.
So, I think it's called Kingdom Hearts Key Unchained. Am I right? Do you have the game?
No. I
Okay.
have no
Have
clue
you
what
ever
you're
played
talking
it?
about. Nope.
Oh, well,
What's the title of the one we were doing in a Let's Play that's coming out?
that is Kingdom Hearts
0.2.
0.2 Birth by Sleep.
A fragmentary passage.
And the whole package that the games came in is Final Chapter Prologue.
That's right. What
Yeah.
are the titles? Are
I
ridiculous.
don't know what they're.
I will say it was cool to see Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Sora again all talking and cutscenes and stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Seeing those guys is awesome.
Yeah, do you know those?
Yeah,
have you ever
work
met
with
those guys?
Nope.
I mean, we know them. I don't know if you've ever had a
Yeah,
chance
no,
to
I've
meet
never
them.
seen any Disney characters before.
Cool. Who's this on your mug here?
That's
Do you know this guy?
Darth Vader, right? Is that Darth Vader?
No.
That's Darth Maul.
Don't you know that guy? We're talking about Kylo Ren for you audio
No.
listeners.
I don't know. Never
Okay.
seen him before in my life.
You don't fantasize about being him or anything?
No, nothing like that.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, Jacob, I'm sorry I kind of interrupted you.
I know, it's fine.
Did you play anything else this week?
Played some Skyrim. Got one trophy left. Just have to get the little 50. Been really trying to grind away.
You guys
at
and
that.
your
What's
trophies.
your hours on it?
I don't know. I need to check.
You're well over
I've-
100 by
I have
now.
to be. I've played it for like months.
Oh wow.
I'm doing the Dawn Guard DLC. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I just finished like the snow elf like ritual thing where I had to go to all those 5 little bowls and like fill up
Bowls?
my flask or whatever it is. But I'm about to get Oriel's bow or whatever it's called. Is it Oriel? I don't know. And yeah, that's where I am. I really want to be done with Skyrim. I want to get that platinum.
You ever
and
build
just-
your house in Hearthfire?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Do you need a trophy for that?
I think there's
It's in
a trophy.
DLC.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
DLC.
a part of like.
I'm
So you're just doing
yeah.
vanilla Skyrim.
I'm using the DLC to get more levels up, basically.
Okay.
But Skyrim's great. I've said it several times on our podcast. Yeah, I'm just ready to be done.
When I get back to games finally to actually play them for fun versus not just making them for videos, I'm gonna like purposely platinum something just because I can again.
Yeah.
Like I used to not platinum because I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. But now I haven't played in so long. I just like want a platinum one just to be like, yeah, I can play games enough now to platinum them.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, but once I've platinum Skyrim, I really want to jump into Inside next. So
good call.
Have you
baby
still not
doll.
played that? Good.
So that will be what I do this week.
Preston and I had a flirtatious phone call and we talked about that game
Excellent.
recently.
It was super hot.
It was, man. You have
Yeah.
no idea.
Were you
what
both
we were talking about?
Shirtless?
I don't know. I mean, we were talking on the phone, but I'd like to imagine he was shirtless while we were talking.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we hit we hit 1,100 subscribers.
We did.
You're supposed to be
Yeah.
shirtless right now.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah, we'll get flagged, but
Well,
I'm
not.
pretty sure we could get away with you wearing just like tape on your nips.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to do that?
Not really.
What if enough people demanded it?
I don't know.
If
Probably
we get a
not.
change.org petition of 100,000
don't know why you guys want me to take my shirt
signatures,
That'll be one of our Patreon
it's for
goals
our
one day.
art.
Jacob will do an episode in the nude. And you only see him
I'll just
from
be
the waist.
laying on the
you'll,
table.
You'll see him. He'll stand on the table, and you'll see him waist down.
You
The
know how
whole
they have those
episode,
restaurants
yes.
that people will lay nude and people will eat off them?
Is that a
So-
thing?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
How does that pass like sanitary guidelines and stuff?
Well,
I mean, they
person's
have
clean.
like little like cloths and stuff over them like that, so you're not eating directly like
What's
off
the
their
point?
skin.
Did they talk to him and stuff? Can you talk to him?
No, it's
Like,
just
hey man,
how's your day been?
yeah,
for
what'd you,
keeping my food.
what'd you have for lunch?
So we're gonna do that. Jacob's gonna be totally nude. Taco Bell's gonna be all over him.
Yes.
And
I already like this.
so while he's he can talk just from the side.
Can
We'll
you put
just eat
cheese
Taco
sauce
Bell
all
off
over
him.
me?
That's enough from you.
You don't mind me squirting a little mild sauce on you, do you?
That's just fine.
Okay.
I want cheese that not whatever that cheese is that I dip my
Melted
nachos
cheese. You want
I
melted
think you're
cheese?
referring to the cheese I'll be getting tonight on the side.
in. I think
Yes.
you mean the cheese that I'll be getting.
I think somebody
And
asked
me.
us a question on our YouTube page or email or something about what we thought of the naked chicken chalupa.
Yes, you want to talk about that briefly?
It's
Sure.
I love it.
I love it
It's
too.
delicious.
It's really good.
It's so good.
You've had one, haven't you?
I have. It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
At first, I was confused because I was like, "Where's the chicken?" But then I like had a brain fart. I was like, "Oh, it's the
Wait
shell."
a second.
it's all chicken.
I kind of want to put some beef in there. I'll be honest. I might do that tonight.
Can you do that?
No, I'm just gonna get some extra beef and put it in there.
I like how it's so simple.
Me too.
Typically, they'd be like, "Yeah, we're gonna throw like some bacon and wrap it in like this and like deep fry it and stuff." It's just like, no, it's just so simple and it's so
One
good.
thing though, I
The chicken
think
quality was good.
I know.
That's what I was
Had a little-
surprised
had a
by.
little kick to it.
Really,
Big
I
fan.
bit into it and I like looked at it. And I'm like, this doesn't look like McDonald's chicken, which isn't a thing.
you're right.
It's not chicken.
I think the sauce in it is just okay.
The
I'm
avocado.
I'm gonna
ranch
try
sauce,
it without the
whatever.
sauce tonight.
Dude, oh god, don't.
I
even
think
talk
spicy
to me.
ranch is the
Well,
cure.
Jacob,
all
you're
to
really being
any
an
Taco
asshole.
Bell meal.
Anybody that says no sauce with Taco Bell can get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah,
It
seriously.
pisses me off.
Yeah, you're
That's
done.
me like once every 6 weeks. I'm gonna get the sauce tonight though.
Thank you.
You better.
Gosh, if you want me to drop kick your ass,
I'd like
say
to see
no
you drop
sauce. in
kick
front of me. Whoa.
Drop kick me.
I'm gonna
See what
do
happens.
it. I'm gonna do it.
I would never.
If we get
dare try that
1,000,
on Jacob.
1,200 subscribers, I'm drop kicking Jacob on camera
That's awesome.
with his shirt off.
If we hit 12,
with a shirt off.
if we hit 1,200 subscribers in a week, I'll let you drop kick me shirtless.
If we hit 5,000 subscribers this week, I'll let all of you kick me in the nuts on camera. How about that?
Okay, that works.
All right. that's
I
fine.
walked in the door to Evans yesterday and I was wearing like this blue sweater after I got my hair blonde. I realized I look like the dude who tries to kill Jason Bourne at the beginning of the first Bourne movie. And then so if we hit that many subscribers, then I'll come in and try to stab someone with a pin wearing my blue sweater.
You could throat kick Jacob with a book.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, let's all just kill me.
We've been trying to
Jacob, you're
since
so
high
beefy.
school.
You're like a walking punching bag.
Yeah.
Zach, what'd you play this week?
Wow, guys. Wow. You know, I've been excited for this podcast for this one reason. Because all the other times I've been on with you, I've been like, oh, well. Because you know, I went through like a 2-year thing where I never played video games at my house. The only time I played video games is when we all would get together and play FIFA.
Right.
But I've actually played the most video games I've played in the last 3 months has like been more than the last 3 years.
Perfect timing.
Ooh.
First off, got Battlefield, like we've talked about. Even though I haven't played with any of y'all. Y'all have it for PS4, right?
Yeah.
I played a ton of that.
I thought you had PS4.
And I have one, but I don't really use it. And if you don't care, I'm about to give it to my dad.
Oh.
He'll use it.
Right.
That's the thing is I don't have enough time to like play. I hardly have enough time to play one game a night on my Xbox.
Well, you've already made the wrong
I don't have time for any games.
But
if there's two things I hate, it's people that say no sauce, and it's Xbox players.
wow, get out of here.
If anyone's brand new, you have to know we're kidding.
Total joke.
So yeah, I played a lot of Battlefield 1, and that was the thing is most other Battlefields I've played, I haven't been great at them, so they've gotten annoying pretty fast, especially because how realistic it can be. Like if you're just not good, you're just not good, and you really don't get any better. But with this new one, I've been so good at sniping. It's been ridiculous.
I can vouch for this.
Like it's almost like therapeutic how good at sniping I am, because I'll just sit back, like especially when I'm not on mic with anybody, and I'll just like relax in the back of the map and try to pick people off.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
And he was showing me clips at Waffle House. We had breakfast the other morning, and he's not exaggerating. I mean, he's the kind of guy that snipes people out of planes and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like unreal.
I was killing it.
He showed me some gnarly clips and made me think, man, I wish I had an extra copy on Xbox. I know there's a few Xbox players from our Xbox club out there that would like to play
I
Battlefield.
would totally
I'm sure.
play with people.
But,
Trying to think.
yeah.
Got the Ezio collection because I just recently played through Assassin's Creed 2. So I was like, now I'm kind of like want to jog my memory on the whole story. Brotherhood is, I forgot how fantastic of a game Brotherhood was.
I like Brotherhood a lot.
Brotherhood's my favorite out of that entire like span.
I like that added the combat, the like chain kill things you could do between people.
It's
I thought that was
incredible.
cool.
I had so much fun playing Brotherhood. And then, but it's also one of those things where like when y'all tried to get me into Batman when we were living in the apartment together, all those games are good and I played through the first one, but I got so tired of the repetitiveness of killing and almost doing the same type of thing that I just couldn't finish it. And that's the same thing. I went to play Revelations the other day and I played it for like 5 minutes, and then like every kill they have to have in slow motion. And I was like, I'm done with this. Done that, and then I finally downloaded EA Access because they were running a deal for like $30 for the entire year. So
That's cool.
I did my like 20-hour trial on FIFA 17, Madden 17. I know normally something we've talked about sports games, how it's like there's no point of getting it year to year because like there's really not a huge difference. The difference between Madden 16 and Madden 17, I've never seen that huge of a difference on a sports game.
If I'm not mistaken, I heard that Madden 17 was the best Madden game in a long time.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
Well, if you want it, go like buy it now because there's a really good deal on it. The Super Bowl edition.
Yeah.
It's like $20 or $30.
I might have to do that. And I know through EA Access, I get like a 10% digital download, 10% off.
It's very progressive of you.
Thank you. But yeah, I just got that just because I can't afford getting a whole lot of video games, and I know if you have EA Access, you can download like all of last year's games. So now I can like download like Battlefield 4 and Hardline and all the sports games, and they're about to put like Skate 3 on there. I played Call of Duty a decent amount. The new one, just for Spaceland Zombies.
Did you play the single player campaign of it?
No.
It's excellent.
Is it?
Infinite Warfare?
So good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very
Actually, I think I heard
Very,
somebody
very
say that
good.
because I got online, I started playing, and of course that just like straight to rage mode.
Oh, yeah, online's horrible.
That's what I was telling.
Straight to
That's what I
rage
was
mode.
telling Garrett when we went to eat yesterday morning. This is like no joke. Like I'm not kidding. I get on COD to play online, and I'm just like horrible. Like I'm god awful. It's terrible. And then I had a friend come in town when I was back in Orlando, and I was like, this is like the only multiplayer game I have, so we'll just like mess around. But we had been drinking quite a bit. So we were at a point where I was like not totally stable, and I just crushed it. Every single game, I was like positive 15. I was
Dang.
like an animal when I was like hardly coherent. Then I went to play it again totally
That's how
sober.
it goes.
Horrible. It made no sense to me whatsoever, but it was funny. And then me and Evan, whenever Spaceland Zombies came out, we did... he found invincibility glitch that actually worked, and we survived to round 45. We played for like 5.5 straight hours.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, we were so close to like getting to, because I've heard that there's actual an ending scene that you can get to once you unlocked everything. We got so close, but we had been on for 5.5 hours. It was like 3:00 in the morning, and we're like, we have to get off. Like, we can't stay on any longer. It was crazy. That's what. Have you played Spaceland Zombies?
Yeah, I did for a little bit. I got like every trophy besides the zombie one, so I like was checking it out, but I kind of
You know the like rewind gadget that you can get? It's in one of like the little ticket things. You can go up and get a rewind gadget. Well, if you go stand in like the collapsing gator mouth, as soon as it's about to collapse on you, the trap, you press the rewind thing and it like glitches your player up into the sky where you would normally be dead and go into the arcade. And if your teammate's still alive, he can finish out the round and it'll respawn you out of the main portal completely invincible. Zombies can't touch you. The only thing that
might be good for getting trophies.
Yeah.
the only thing. Oh, I'm pretty sure they patched it because I went because he found it on YouTube and we're like, "There's no way this is gonna work," and it did.
Well, if it's in base COD, you can uninstall everything and still do it again. Yeah,
it's a good idea. But yeah, it was very entertaining. Also, got extremely repetitive. But I think it was to kill one zombie. It was up to, just as comparison, I think it was like almost like you had to knife one like 19 times to kill it. That's
Holy
like
crap,
that's how strong they were at round 45. Like there was no point. But at that time, you have like $100,000 and you can just pack a punch everything you own and have like 3 guns at a time. So
nice.
It was entertaining. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just been like rotating through all those games.
Very cool.
It's been nice to play video games again because it's been a very long time since I had.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you definitely need to play the single player. It's the best Call of Duty campaign in a very, very long time.
Okay.
Yeah,
I need
it's
to check that out.
fantastic.
Call of Duty campaigns have always been awesome. So
yeah, very cool.
Well, you guys may recall, all of you guys tuning in, that I think it was a couple weeks ago now, we announced, hey, we're going to put out a poll, vote which game we should give away next, Horizon Zero Dawn or Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Well, it just so happens that poll was within a hair of each other. It was so close. Horizon won. We were thinking, man, a surprising amount of people voted for both games. And we're like, dude, we're just going to give away both of them. So surprise, we're giving away both Horizon Zero Dawn and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, keep in mind, we're going to kind of talk about the details now, and you'll know how to correctly enter for this contest, I guess, to win. Because we're going to, typical giveaway, we're just going to draw your names out of a hat. What we're going to do is, probably early on this week, so keep an eye out for it, and we'll reiterate it every episode until the release of these games, so you'll be in the loop of what's going on. But we're going to put out a standalone video and set it as our channel trailer, so it'll be very easy to locate when you come to our YouTube channel. And it'll detail the fact that obviously we're giving away both Horizon Zero Dawn on launch day and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on launch day.
You won't receive it on launch day.
You won't receive it on launch day. You'll probably get it a week later, depending on the mail service. But the only rules are you have to live in the United States. I know that sucks a lot. We have a lot of listeners from around the world, which is a real unfortunate event that we can't send it to you, which sucks. But perhaps one day, the day will come where we reach a point where we're capable of sending stuff overseas. But unfortunately, US only, and generic stuff. Make sure you subscribe, like the video when it comes out, comment on it, and leave what you can say whatever you want on the video. You can tell us we're idiots for all we care, but make sure you include the hashtag, either hashtag Horizon or hashtag Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You can only enter for one, so choose wisely. But you can enter your name into the contest. We'll throw them into a hat, and I think the week before they release, or maybe up until the week they release, we will make a separate video again where we draw your names out. And all this information will be reiterated, like I said, on each podcast episode up until these games come out. So keep an eye out for that. We're excited about it, and we love being able to give stuff away. This is our second giveaway, technically our second and third when they both come out, so it's pretty cool. We made it a goal of ours this year to do more giveaways because we like giving back to you all who support us each and every week, and it's been amazing. So again, thank you for your support, but I think that's it for our little spiel at the beginning.
Sounds like it, man. This is the It's Obvious Gaming podcast, the show where my three best friends and I get together every single week to discuss video games. Obviously, you can find all of our content, including the video version of this podcast, over at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. If YouTube's not good for you, and you want to take us on the go, you can find this podcast every single week on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Audio Boom, and other podcasting services. Please check the description down below. You will find links to all our social media pages, our PlayStation community page, and other means to contact us. Also, if you have not subscribed to us, please do so. It would help us out a ton. And please leave a like and comment down below to get involved with the It's Obvious community. Doing so would help us out so much, and we would be forever in your debt. Amen. But with all that out of the way, hey man, what's the news?
Dude, so if you guys have ever needed a reason, like a definitive reason to call us PlayStation fanboys, now's the time. Because I'm going to rattle off very quickly. I'm just going to...
I picked the good day to wear the old PlayStation shirt.
I almost wore mine.
Yeah. I've already insulted Xbox once wearing the shirt. Oh yeah,
and you said you said something about hating Xbox players earlier.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Right,
yeah, full on Sony pony tonight. For sure.
Well, I'm going to rattle off some cool PlayStation news that really solidifies the fact that not only is it great right now to be a PlayStation owner, but it's just wonderful to be a part of the PlayStation ecosystem.
It's good to be a gamer, Garrett.
Amen. I'm just saying, in general, based on what I'm about to read, it's just exciting. It's an exciting time to be a PlayStation owner. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to rattle these off. Like I said, we're just going to blaze through them and we'll give our thoughts at the end. So the first one comes from Brian Ashcraft of Kotaku. The PlayStation 4 just had its best 3 months ever, Bloomberg reports. During the past quarter, Sony sold 9.7 million PlayStation 4 consoles worldwide, which is more than the 8.4 million sold during the same period in 2015. It's also the most Sony has sold in any quarter to date. For context, during the second quarter of 2016, the PS4 sold 3.9 million worldwide, while in the first quarter of 2016, it sold 3.5 million worldwide. As of January 1st of this year, the console's install base hit 53.4 million. It's impressive. The next one comes from Eddie Macick of GameSpot. Quote, Sony says that the Pro is selling as expected, possibly more, and is even selling better than the Slim model. As for PSVR, Sony said sales of the virtual reality headset are, quote, in line with expectations. PlayStation executive Jim Ryan said Sony was expecting to sell hundreds of thousands of units at launch. The $400 PSVR launched in October, with the $400 PS4 Pro going on sale in November. The new Slim model, $300, debuted in September. Earlier this week, Sony announced two new $500 PSVR bundles. Bundles include the original PSVR launch bundle that includes I think it's VR Worlds and the demo disc that comes with PlayStation VR and the Move controllers and all that. And there's also an Until Dawn Russia Blood bundle that includes Until Dawn Russia Blood instead of VR Worlds, in case you want to just pick that one up instead of VR Worlds. Personally, I mean, Until Dawn's great in VR, but I love VR Worlds. A lot of variety there, and London Heist, still one of my favorite VR experiences. Lastly, this one comes from Chris Welch of The Verge. Quote, Sony is rolling out the beta preview of the PlayStation 4's latest firmware update, version 4.5, and it includes a pretty great new feature for, early owners of the PS4 Pro console. In short, many older PS4 titles will run better on the new hardware, even if they've not been optimized to do so by developers. Once you've installed the software upgrade, you'll find the new, quote, boost mode option in the settings menu. This is exclusive to the more powerful Pro console and won't appear on the regular PS4. When activated, boost mode, quote, lets PS4 Pro run at a higher GPU and CPU clock speed in order to improve gameplay on some PS4 games that were released before the launch of the PS4 Pro. A company spokesperson told The Verge, quote, games that have a variable frame rate may benefit from a higher frame rate, and load times may be shorter in some games too. Aside from boost mode, the upcoming 4.0 firmware update will also add support for external hard drives to all PS4 models, introduce some redesigned menus, and let players watch 3D Blu-rays in PSVR. End quote. It's a lot of exciting stuff as far as hardware is concerned. Now, I'm not one of those guys that's like, dude, PlayStation sold so much, F you. I just think that's really awesome that it is, it's still just selling like crazy and has not stopped since launch. I mean, we've had a couple dips here and there, but it's just cool. At one, congratulations to Sony for selling that many PlayStations 4. PS4s are killing it, and it's cool to hear that both the Pro and PSVR, according to what they're saying, granted, they could be lying.
It sounds like corporate jargon right there.
Exactly.
Like,
it probably is, but if it is...
If they were killing it, they'd be like slinging their dick out like way before this. So.
At the very least, because I know a lot of people mentioning like, man, the Pro must not be doing too well because they're not talking about it, but at least they mention, oh, it's selling better than the Slim. If that's a fact, that actually really surprises me.
I mean, it's like...
I don't believe that.
I mean, they're not going to flat out lie.
I just don't believe
There's no evidence to say otherwise. I mean, why wouldn't you buy a Pro over a Slim? It's only $100 more. It's $100.
If you don't have a PlayStation, why not get the Slim?
I
don't care about power that much, so...
Yeah, but like, why wouldn't you pay $100 more for a bigger hard drive?
I guess if people don't have 4K TVs, if they don't have 4K TVs, it probably won't.
Yeah, but I mean, it also future proofs you, and it does offer better performance, and it super samples down to 1080p.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then
with the boost mode,
mode,
like, that's also another added thing.
That is cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? What does that get you excited about specifically?
I'd like to see how it works.
Because they said you can turn it on and off in the settings.
Yeah, because they say sometimes it might actually mess the game up. I don't know. I don't know if that was in the article you just read, but I did read that it does recommend you in the settings that if you see some games doing wonky stuff, they recommend you actually turn it off. But I'll be interested to see like what Digital Foundry actually does, like seeing how it runs with it on or off, because people have been saying they've been playing like Witcher 3 with it and they're like, oh, the frame rate is absolutely locked at 30, and people are saying Bloodborne is absolutely locked at 30, which Bloodborne has had some problems with dips, but I didn't know that was a big deal. I don't remember playing Bloodborne and there being a massive amount of dips, but I hear a ton of people talking about that. But I'll just be interested to see what like people like Digital Foundry actually doing like FPS tests and stuff.
Absolutely.
But I know they said if it's actually capped at FPS, it can't like break through the ceiling of that. But games with unlocked frame rates, they can improve like dramatically from this boost mode. So actually, once it's out in the wild more, I'll be interested to see what it actually does.
Absolutely. So. And just on top of all that hardware mumbo jumbo, all that is really cool. Specifically the boost mode I get most excited about out of all that news, but it's also just cool to know that we have multiple PlayStation exclusives just over the horizon, pun intended, of course. But Horizon and all the other ones we've discussed for the past few weeks are very exciting. So to be a PlayStation owner currently, it's just an exciting time.
And I think like it really doesn't affect the games with the Pro Patch. This is just purely like for things, before that.
Right. So yeah, it's pretty nifty. But sticking in the realm of PlayStation.
And then also the 3D VR movies.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to just try that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what it would actually be like.
I didn't even think about that. Like, this just seems like a pretty substantial update, adding way more stuff than usual with these updates.
So. Totally. And I love the addition of external hard drives as well. That's very convenient.
Yes.
So you can arguably have, I think you can, it said it can handle up to 8 terabyte hard drives.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My goodness, that's a lot of memory.
I have a 500 gigabyte external hard drive that I just have laying around, so it's cool to just know that I can use that whenever.
Yeah, totally. No, I think that's awesome as well. So a lot of exciting
stuff. It's Xbox and other people have been doing it for a while.
Right.
So
but
it's
not like PlayStation, guys, it's cool now, right?
I mean, that should have been there in the beginning, but it's cool that it's at least an option now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is very convenient. But like I said, sticking in the realm of PlayStation, the PS Plus free games for February, which will all be arriving on February 7th, have been announced. You guys ready for this? On PS4, Little Big Planet 3, Star Wall, which is also cross-buy with PS3.
I want to play that. Little Big Planet 3.
Do you?
Yeah, that one's. It's got the bird and stuff.
I haven't. Cool. I've only played the demo for one of them.
Oh yeah, you're right.
This will be the first time I download a free game in a while.
Wow.
You add them to your library, don't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anna Extended Edition on PS3. Ninja Senkai DX on PS Vita, cross-buy with PS4. How you pronounce this? Torquell?
Are you sure?
I don't know what that is, but Torquell on PS Vita, cross-buy with PS4. And lastly, Not a Hero on PS4. So Jacob's going to download Little Big Planet 3.
Yeah. I've heard it's a great game.
If it's free, I always forget. If there's ever a game that's even the slightest bit recognizable, I'll usually
that's a
download it.
AAA game.
When are we getting Shadowfall?
I know we're waiting on
already have
Shadowfall
it,
and
but
we're
that's
waiting
just-
on Infamous. So
Yeah,
I think both of
blows
those.
my mind those aren't there.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, and we've been saying that for like 6 months now.
Maybe. I was gonna say maybe the month of Horizon we'll get Killzone, but we're already here.
Right, you're right.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Oh well.
So yeah,
that game's been $5 a million times. So
yeah,
maybe
I've
that's the
missed
reason.
every chance I've had. But I think the last, well, actually, sorry, we're not quite out of the PlayStation 4 realm yet. But speaking of PS4 Pro, specifically, it says Fallout 4 is getting a Pro update. This one comes from Owen Escott on Polygon. Quote, Fallout 4's next patch will add PlayStation 4 Pro support, and PC users will get a beefy, high-resolution texture pack that significantly ramps up the game's visuals. Update 1.9 on PlayStation 4 will roll out this week, and for PS4 Pro users, it will add a native 1440p resolution, enhanced God ray effects, those shafts of light coming through the clouds and trees, and enhanced draw distance for trees, grass, objects, and, perhaps, hopefully, NPCs. The high-resolution texture pack takes up another 58 gigabytes of hard drive space and carries its own set of recommended specifications. Quote, if your system can handle it, the Commonwealth will look better than ever, Bethesda Softworks said in the blog post. Quote, give it a shot, and if you need to return to the original textures, you can disable them within the game's launcher menu. Bethesda also teased an update coming for Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition on all platforms that, along with the update to Fallout 4, is bringing new features to the mod content for both games. Bethesda said more about what will be shared. That will be shared in the coming week. That's pretty cool.
This is what I wanted.
Yeah.
For the longest time. This is what when we were talking about Pro before it was even out. I wanted Fallout 4 to run better. Granted, they didn't say any of it about running better. I just hope it runs at a locked 30.
So they're like,
at least
they're saying you'll get a texture pack. I'd rather than be like, we're gonna give you a frame rate pack, dude. And
yeah.
even if it doesn't run at 60, if you can just lock it at 30 and it never slow down, I'd be satisfied with that.
Yeah.
Zach, did you ever play Fallout 4?
I did. I was in the middle of playing it when I had to move, and I knew that I wasn't even sure I was going to get an Xbox because I was playing it on Andy's back at home. So I was like, oh, you can just keep Fallout 4 because I have no idea when I'll have an Xbox again. So the last day that I played it, I went and killed everybody that I possibly could.
Yeah.
So,
as one would do in Fallout.
As I normally do.
I've been wanting to go back to that game. So.
I killed everybody.
Now you got a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I leave because one of the you had a choice between 4 different groups that you could join. And they obviously wouldn't let me kill the last ones. But I started off by brutally murdering my father or brother or son. Who was that? I don't know.
That was your son, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I didn't kill him in my main playthrough, but I saved right in front of him.
Oh,
and
I
killed
did that
him like 600 times for
fun.
fun.
I wanted to figure out different ways that I could kill him.
All in different ways. Like I'd place up like 500 mines underneath him.
What was that place called where he was at?
The Institute.
The Institute, yeah. Definitely murdered everyone there. The little Underground Railroad people, murdered all them. I think I killed all of them with one rocket launcher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was great.
In that little basement?
Yes, yeah, that's right, yeah.
I did the same thing with Mr. Tenpenny in Fallout 3 in his tower when you were sent to
Dropped
assassinate
the fat
him.
man on him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saved it and killed him like with every weapon in the game.
I would jump off of Tenpenny Tower, then before I hit the ground, I would fire a fat man, and it would launch me like to the moon. I'd literally hit the ceiling of the world.
Have y'all
fun.
Have y'all played Astroneer? Have y'all played that?
It sounds so familiar.
Oh my! I know you've played it. So I was playing it at Evans, and all right, you know how you have to be tethered to keep your oxygen levels or whatever?
Well, just for clarification for those that don't know, what is this game?
What's the best way to describe it? I don't even know.
With my experience with it, it's kind of like No Man's Sky. You go to different planets and you basically gather resources and, you create things kind of like Minecraft too.
Yeah, I'd say it's
you build a base, you explore the planet.
That sounds fun
You build
already.
like vehicles and stuff.
I'd say it's the best way
So
to
it's a
describe
waste
it
of
is
$60.
I think
It's not $60.
I think it's like $15.
Okay.
But I'd say the best way to describe it is No Man's Sky and Minecraft.
Yeah.
But you always have to be tethered to these blue lines that connect to your little astronaut suit.
oxygen lines.
Yeah, so you can keep oxygen. Well, I was like totally messing around. I had no idea what I was doing with the controllers, but I had kept building so high that I had like crushed myself under the weight and put myself all the way down to the bottom of like the planet. And then so I was losing oxygen, and then I just started randomly building on top of this hill that shot me. It like reversed me through the entire planet, and I like slowly got tethered back right before I was about to die. So You can just look around the map that him and Evan made. There's just giant penis mounds everywhere. like, did you ever do the creator thing on Far Cry, like the old Far Cry, where you would just build an island up to the heavens, and then you would just just jump off of it, because that's what you want to do in every video game is get to the highest point and then jump off. Yeah.
It's like Minecraft, because you can not only take away matter, but you can also just create matters, build whatever you want. So
I saw your mountain.
It kind of sounds fun. I might look into that.
I saw the mountain trail you guys made.
I didn't make it. I just helped him.
They made an entire trail all the way up a mountain.
Yeah, we made
because you can carve out the side of a mountain. So they made an entire trail up. It was entertaining.
And there's those tethers are going up the walkway, so it looks like there's railings up the way. It's cool.
Nice. No, that's interesting. I might look into that. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's a very
interesting.
Yeah, dude.
Speaking of jumping off stuff, I made a huge mistake in Oblivion once when I was playing Oblivion. I had played for about 30-ish hours. It was probably, I think it was my second character, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but it really depressed me. So I can't remember what city it was, but I was in a city with a giant stone bridge that crosses this huge gap in the city, and it's a long way down. Every time you cross something like that in a game and you're not really on a mission or anything, I'm thinking, I kind of want to just jump off and kill myself. Yeah, for fun. So I just jumped off with everything I had in my character, and I hit the ground so hard that the game just froze, and it didn't move.
Gosh.
I was like, oh, that sucks. I'm like, I'll just restart my, I think it was 360 at the time. I'll just restart my Xbox. So restart it, go back in, try to load the save, and it can't load.
Yep.
I hit the ground so hard that it broke my save, and I lost 30 hours of gameplay. I had so much money, so many rare weapons, and house and armor I'd collected, and quests, and lost everything.
Well, I did that. Remember when I did Skyrim and I explored the entire map in 24 hours and stopped playing the game?
Yeah.
Well, I was so lazy and wouldn't go around mountains, and I'd try to find any way to glitch jump all the way up the mountain. I thought that I had saved it when I was on the path, and I climbed this entire mountain for 20 minutes, get to the top, accidentally slide off, and just murder myself, and I forgot that I hadn't saved in an hour.
Oh, no.
And I had to go all the way back.
What a nightmare.
I lived to explore caves, and as soon as I found the last cave, I was like, what's the point of living anymore? And then I was done.
And then you kill everyone, and then you call it quits.
Correct.
So
if you don't murder everyone at the end of the game, what's the point of buying the game? Am I right?
Yeah, dude. What was that?
That was a reminder on my computer. I rely on Siri to remind me of everything. I really just need an agenda because I have so many things to do constantly that my reminder list for Siri is a mile long.
Wow.
I have reminders popping up every hour about something else I have to do.
I had on my Siri reminder beat Jacob's ass for 3 years.
And you still haven't done it.
I know.
Wow.
I need to get to that. I think I just deleted it. I don't even know why it was on there. I think it was a joke we did it when we lived together at the apartment. And
wow,
it's been there forever.
What a good time.
Yeah.
I always yell at Siri in the morning because I set 600 alarms because I never know which one I'm going to wake up to. And I set so many that she struggles to turn them off. So I have to ask her to turn off my alarms 10 times usually until she finally does it. And I'll be in the middle of brushing my teeth, mouthful of toothpaste. I'm like, turn off all my alarms. She's and she'll spin for an hour. And she'll finally be like, sorry. Oh, and just the way she goes, uh-oh. It looks like I can't do this right now. Will you try again? I'm like, turn off my fucking alarms. I'm salivating toothpaste while I'm screaming it.
There it is at March 9th, 2014. Kick Jacob's ass at 3 a.m.
2014. Wow.
Yeah.
Were we in our apartment
3 years
2014?
ago.
I thought it was 2013.
I don't know. I don't know why that was there. That's when I turned it off.
That would have been...
We moved out in the beginning of 2014, in April of 2014.
So that would have been the last month at the apartment.
Yeah.
That's when I turned it off. Who knows when I instigated it.
What were we just talking about?
We were talking about
Fallout 4 PlayStation 4 Pro.
No,
right?
what did you just say? Because I had something to say, but I forgot.
Brushing my teeth and yelling at Siri.
Why don't you reuse your alarms? Why do you keep creating new ones?
No, I don't. I do reuse all of them.
That's what he's saying. He literally is not kidding when he says 600 alarms.
Yeah.
Because I've slept in the same bed with this man 300 times.
So you never just go to one and
more.
I think I've slept with you more than my own girlfriend in the same bed.
You have. We've slept.
I've been dating her for 3 years.
Has it been 3 years?
Almost, yeah.
Me and you have slept more with each other than any other people in our entire lives.
That's right.
And many alarms.
Yeah, the only intimate moment Zach and I ever had in bed together was when I woke up one morning. Of course, we'd been up all night playing Halo or something, and usually my wiener dog would sleep with us, or both my dogs at the time. It was a Chihuahua and a wiener dog, and they'd sleep in between us. Well, I was so tired one morning, I rolled over, and I could barely see through my eyes that I just started stroking this log in front of me. I was just stroking it. And I was stroking it for a while. I was like, good boy. I was like, you're a good boy. I was like, blah, 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 blah. And then I opened my eyes enough and realized...
That's no log.
Yeah, that's no log. I had been stroking Zach's arm like very seductively.
You mean Zach's penis?
Yes. It's the size of a log.
No, but I was stroking Zach's arm very, very gently and smoothly, like I'm trying to seduce the man. And when I realized that it was him, all I remember saying, just going, I stopped instantly. I was like, oh, that's you. And I just turned over and went back to sleep.
Because I remember sitting there and I'm just like, he's kidding. Like, I'm like, he's joking with me. Like, oh, Garrett, what's up? And you're like, oh, yeah. And I was like, oh. Well,
oh, that's you.
Actually rubbing me for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, good times. Yeah, alarm, Jacob. I have an alarm, I think, every minute of every day because I've set them for so many different times.
Good for you.
So, yeah, I always wake up eventually. I also have the sonic bomb alarm that is made to violently awake someone because I used to sleep so hard and I sleep so little. Last bit of PlayStation news. Horizon Zero Dawn has officially gone gold. That means one of those gold copies is going to one of you people who enter in the contest. So that's exciting. But speaking of it going gold, that's cool and all. But we recently saw a lot of gameplay because a lot of media outlets were invited to, I believe, where was it? Somewhere in California, I think, to play Horizon Zero Dawn. We saw a lot of new gameplay. Do you guys check any of it out?
Yeah.
What'd
I
you
checked
think?
out quite a bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks cool.
It does.
I'm very excited for it. It looks like essentially what I thought it would be in terms of the gameplay loop, going out hunting these monsters, getting materials to build bigger weapons just so you can fight like the bigger monsters and stuff. Monsters, dino robots.
Right.
The thing that has me, I think what's going to separate this game from being a really fun game to like a really amazing game is the actual main story quests. In terms of like how if the story's keeping like pushing you along and stuff, and those like caves that they really couldn't show, like how good those are. I know those require platforming and they involve fighting like a boss and stuff, but from what I've seen, it looks awesome. I can't wait, but I'll be interested to see if like I said, that main story content can like elevate this game to like a really amazing game. So,
definitely,
yes.
yeah. Definitely hoping a lot for a strong narrative, and it looks cool because it looks like a smorgasbord of all kinds of RPGs that are fun. A little bit of Far Cry in there, a little bit of Witcher in there. Of course, we have the skill tree. That's exciting. Yeah. Similar to, I think someone else mentioned this as well in a different podcast I listened to. Similar to Tomb Raider, we have like three different categories. Yeah. So very excited about the Prowler abilities. I love me some stealth in an RPG. So
yeah, the main difference between those games and this game is, granted, Tomb Raider had a little villages you could go to, but since this is being more RPG, I'm sure there's even bigger villages where you're actually going back and taking quests and stuff, which I think that differentiates itself between like Far Cry Primal, which has been getting a lot of comparisons, which I think honestly the biggest comparison is just because it's caveman-ish, because the combat is nothing like Far Cry, like,
and it's similar in the sense that there's bases you can take over. Yeah, full of guys that you can take out and then you conquer that base or whatever. Yeah, which I always enjoy that in games, especially when I can be stealthy.
Yeah, I mean that's from several games and stuff, but I think the big like, yeah, it does look Far Cry-ish, but I think a lot of people are just saying Primal due to just the cavemanish looking things. But definitely interested in just I'm going on full on like story lockdown. Like I hope it's cool what's going on, because that'll really like. I'm sure like the journey will be awesome and the gameplay's fun, but I really want like the ending to pay off. And if not, well, it was fun. But like I said, that's what's really going to make this game memorable and stand out. And I've heard a lot of people say that at worst, this game's going to be fun and awesome, and it's really going to set up for Guerrilla to just like kill it with the second one. Just like take the criticisms and maybe the things that they didn't have a lot of time to work on with this game and just like really like blow it out of the water with the second one, like akin to like Uncharted 1 to 2 and stuff. So.
Absolutely. That's what gets me excited about Guerrilla specifically, to come from a game like Killzone to do something so drastically different is awesome. And it's always exciting to see any developer do that, but that's one of the main reasons I'm excited. It's just so totally different from what they're used to. So it's thrilling. With Jacob, did we miss any beats in the gameplay we discussed that stuck out to you?
No, the main thing I wanted to say that I was excited about was the stealth. I watched about 3 videos and the stealth looks so fun.
Some brutal finishers in there.
Oh yeah, I cannot wait to just like, I'm usually not, I don't particularly play stealth games a whole bunch, but this one I want to play stealthily. if that's a word. So
I think stealthily is coined by most people nowadays.
I would say so. Have you seen any of the pro stuff like on your TV, like comparisons between 1080p and pro?
Not on my TV yet. No,
I would stream it. It looks great.
It's pretty significant.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, especially in the grass that you hide in and stuff. Looks way clearer on the pro than it is on the original PlayStation. But it looks amazing on both. Yeah, definitely a technical achievement to have an open world game looking this good.
Totally. And in Witcher 3 blew my mind. I imagine this can only be better than that, if at least meet that, because Witcher 3 looks amazing, and Horizon, from what I've seen, does look fantastic. I remember you showed me briefly the PlayStation 4 Pro's announcement conference when they showed that Horizon gameplay where she climbs the long neck or whatever. It looked amazing in 4K. So
it looks super cool. I know a lot of people have had some problems with the HUD and stuff. They're like, oh, it's too cluttered. But I did read something saying that it is like tons of customization in terms of the HUD. Like you can make it like dynamic, some stuff coming up when you're in combat and fading back out, or just taking things completely off. So that's really cool to know too, because in that demo you're talking about, there was very minimal HUD, and I think it makes it look cooler cinematic and stuff. So that's probably how I'm going to play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they fixed her sliding down the rope with her bare hands.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they fixed it. She has something she attaches to it now.
That's cool.
So that was cool.
Nice. Yeah, I'm very excited about Horizon. Remember, everyone, I know I keep saying this, enter that contest. You could win a free copy. Next one comes from Chris Pereira of GameSpot. Quote, following EA's announcement of BioWare launching its new action franchise by April 2018, BioWare's Aaron Flynn has shared a bit more about the studio's upcoming game. Quote, there's much more to say in the coming months, but for now, I wanted to offer this additional background, he said on BioWare's blog. In 2012, we began crafting a new universe full of new characters, stories, and gameplay. Our ambition is simple. Draw up 20-plus years of development knowledge and lessons to create something fun and new for you to enjoy with your friends. There's nothing quite as exciting as building a new IP from scratch, and will be even more thrilling for us to share more with you in the future, end quote. EA CEO Andrew Wilson states, quote, at the end of the fiscal year, our BioWare studio will be delivering an all-new IP, a clean sheet designed with new concepts, new gameplay mechanics, and new stories set in a unique new universe. This game has potential to fundamentally disrupt the way people think about an action title, bringing friends together to play in an exhilarating new way. We're very excited about the future of this new franchise and its ability to attract a large global audience. When pressed further for details concerning the Q&A portion of the call, Wilson described it as an action-adventure game rather than an RPG, and suggested it will blend genres. You guys have any predictions of what BioWare's new game could be? What it might be like?
I don't know. That kind of it's cool because I know BioWare's good, but I don't know. I really like their RPGs, so it's kind of like...
Right.
I don't know.
So... just in the realm of RPGs, we've gotten medieval, we've gotten space. It's not going to be an RPG according to these guys, but if it's going to be an action game, they keep mentioning playing with your friends. What does that mean exactly? Will it be modern day?
Could be anything. New
weapons, new characters, new story. What would you like to see from BioWare? Just thinking of an action game, what would you like to see them do? I know you could literally say anything, but I'm trying to think
I guess
of the
something
things
modern day would be cool. They haven't done really anything modern day.
I wonder if they're going to develop something that will. Never mind. I was going to say Cyberpunk 2077 is a RPG eventually, whenever that comes out. I was going to say maybe they'll try to compete with whatever CD Projekt Red's doing. But it's going to be totally different. Action game, apparently, playing with friends. But that's cool. Yeah. I like getting excited about new IP, especially brand new. Yeah. So we'll see what happens at the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah. I hope that's not what they skip off into, because that would suck, losing BioWare making these RPGs.
Oh, I know. So yeah. I hope they don't spend years on it, at least. I mean, obviously,
I know
years
there's
developing
two teams with BioWare, because I know one of them's making Andromeda right now. That's not the core BioWare team.
Is that the same team that made Dragon Age? Or that does Dragon Age?
I'm not exactly up to date on BioWare. I just know a lot of people had reservations about Andromeda due to who exactly was working on it.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But it still looks really good. But
yeah, definitely. I'm excited. The next one comes from Eddie Macick of GameSpot. Quote, Bethesda parent company Zenimax announced today that it has acquired Escalation Studios. You may not know the studio by name, but you're likely familiar with its work. The Dallas, Texas-based outfit, founded in 2007, most recently contributed to the id Software's well-received shooter Doom. The studio worked on the game's level editor SnapMap. In a statement, Zenimax said Escalation is working on, quote, a number of projects for PC, console, mobile, and VR, alongside other studios owned by Zenimax. Other Zenimax-owned studios include Arcane, id Software, Machine Games, Tango Gameworks, and Battlecry Studios, as well as the internal Bethesda Game Studios and Zenimax Online Studios. And there's a quote after that said, they're all excited about it, apparently. Escalation and Zenimax both are now. Escalation is now in the Zenimax family. That's basically all of Bethesda, it seems like. Arcane, id Software, Machine Games, blah, 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 blah. So that's pretty cool. They've got some serious talent under their belt, Zenimax does. It isn't really a big story. I just thought that was interesting. Yeah. So
one of the few publishers where like literally everything they're putting out I have extreme interest in.
Exactly.
So I'll be interested to see what these guys do.
Totally. The next one comes from our man, Joe Screbbles of IGN. Quote, and now Preston, you'll probably have something to say about this. I know you've already heard this, but I found this very interesting. Quote, the rebooted Deus Ex series has apparently been put on hiatus after failing to meet sales expectations, says a new report. Eurogamer reports that inside sources have said the developer Eidos Montreal has moved the majority of its efforts towards developing the next game in another rebooted series, Tomb Raider. It is also working on games for the new Square Enix Marvel partnership, beginning with the Avengers project, a collaboration with Crystal Dynamics. Eurogamer also reports that the studio will lead development on a second Marvel game based on Guardians of the Galaxy. The last Deus Ex game, Mankind Divided, left several elements of a wider story unresolved, apparently due to be addressed in a third game. However, it seems that any new entry in the series will be many years away at the very least. It remains to be seen what will become of the Deus Ex universe, the quote, ongoing, expanding, and connected game world that comprise Eidos Montreal's games as well as books, comics, and even a fashion line, which I didn't know. I would totally sport one of Jensen's jackets. For sure. We made Deus Ex Mankind Divided one of our best reviewed games of 2016, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's very good. So that's kind of sucks because you got me into Deus Ex and I really love Mankind Divided. Granted, I didn't platinum it like you did and I still haven't played any of the DLC, but I really loved that game and I would not have played it if it weren't for you. So it is cool that I know we talked about recently that there's that leak of Shadow of the Tomb Raider that Eidos Montreal is contributing to. Avengers as well, and eventually Guardians of the Galaxy. With that being said, with Deus Ex on hold, how does that make you feel specifically?
I mean, it's definitely sucks, but I heard from another podcast, I forgot which one it was, I think it was something IGN put out, where they just made the point that they have so much on their plate right now when it comes to Shadow of the Tomb Raider and when it comes to Marvel that those are the money makers right now. So it makes sense for them to put this franchise that they really didn't sell a lot of copies on hiatus for a little bit to make the stuff that will actually make some money. Because one of the reviewers from IGN that actually went to the studio to talk about Mankind Divided, they told him that they had stuff planned out until 2025 for this series.
Holy crap.
Granted, I don't know how much that's changed since all of this, but DLC is still coming out at the end of this month. I think it's a prequel chapter that I'm really excited for, and I'm a huge advocate for Mankind Divided. I think it's an amazing game. It was one of my favorite games last year. I've heard a lot of people criticize it, saying that it didn't feel complete. I can see so in a story sense because it was a very compact story. Nothing like too crazy happened, but the game had a ton of content in the sense of like Prague was massive. There were tons of side quests. They were just fun. Interesting
side quests too, not just go get me some coffee or something.
Yeah, so. All of I think there were 11 side quests, but when you think 11 side quests, they were very lengthy, very fleshed out, like very long side quests that would evolve, some of them over the course of the entire game once you come back to Prague, where the characters are now and how the situation that you left them in, like how they've developed and stuff. So I'm excited for the DLC. The DLC is really good. It does suck hearing this, but I don't know, hopefully one day we can actually see the story resolved and see Jensen go out in video game form. I know there's like graphic novels and books and stuff that would really suck for the franchise or his story to end in like a comic book or something. Right. So, but
I gotta write something down real quick. I have something to add to that, but let's all be silent for 2 seconds. I gotta filter this air out. What, can you read that from here? I can't read that. What does the timer say at the top? I'm as blind as you. I'm gonna lean over there real quick.
You wanna know what time it is?
1:09:37. There we go. I hate that air. Got to get it out. But yeah, I was going to say, at the very least, even though they're putting in a hiatus, at least they're working on some really cool projects in the meantime. Yeah. It'd be one thing, they're like, oh, we're just going to take a break, we're shutting down the studio, or we're going to make a mobile game or something. But Shadow of the Tomb Raider, if that's even what it's going to be called still, Guardians of the Galaxy, and contributing to the Avengers project with Square Enix. So that's really cool. Yeah. But Yeah, thank you for sharing your thoughts, Preston.
Mm-hmm.
And this may upset, for those of you that don't know, some of you may already know, this may upset a handful of people at least listening in. This didn't upset me, but it struck a chord in my heart because I had flashbacks of this game. The PC version of Club Penguin is shutting down for the mobile-only version, Club Penguin Island. Did you ever play Club Penguin?
I did not, but I've seen a lot of hilarious memes, if you will,
right.
happenings.
Who here at the table played Club Penguin?
I've played it.
Okay, see, I played it a lot. Me and my sister played it. I played RuneScape, Club Penguin. Do you ever play that Coke RPG on Coke's website?
No.
You could create a character in Coke and like make. You remember that Punk-O-Matic Flash game we used to play?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could play a game like that in the Coke world with your created avatar, and like you can make the songs. You could go to random clubs in the game, and real people would be there with their characters, and you could present your song, and people could vote on your song and stuff.
Dude, that was straight up flashback.
Punk-O-Matic?
Yes.
I used to love that game.
Holy crap, dude. What website was that?
Flashplayer.com.
Flashplayer.com.
If you guys ever went to flashplayer.com and played the game
Holy crap.
Punk-O-Matic, I'd be amazed to hear if anyone else played this when they were younger. You essentially were this punk rock band on a stage, and you could take all these samples of guitar riffs, drum beats, and I think it was just guitar riffs and drum beats, but you could combine them all into your own songs, and I would play it for hours. Yeah. And that was before we started a real metal band. I was like, this is like being in a real band.
It all went together. It was essentially like they just wrote a song and then just chopped it up, and you could put it in whatever order you wanted to do it. But it was cool.
So, yeah, you had like a lead guitar and a rhythm guitar, so all the ways you could mix and match the riffs was really cool. But I used to love playing that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Club Penguin, I don't remember anything specific other than running around in my igloo and running around in the town square with all the other penguins.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Apparently, it's probably an act from some people just to be funny, but a lot of people were like freaking out that Club Penguin was shutting down. For the mobile version, that I'm sure is even better.
Well, PewDiePie just released a video telling everybody to get on there, so I'm sure
Club Penguin?
Yeah, so I'm sure they're having like massive spike in traffic. Their like servers are blowing up and stuff.
We shouldn't shut it down. It's freaking out. Why would we ever shut it down? No, I thought that was just a little funny thing to add in there. Next one comes from Garrett Hullfish of NerdMuch. Quote, for fans of Overwatch's Gentle Giant, Bastion buffs are about to make the character a whole lot more viable. Soon you might be seeing a lot more of him. Over in the game's forums, an entire thread is dedicated to players' interest in upgrading Bastion. One such player, this is quite a name here, Rareth Links? Can you say that, Jacob? Rareth Links? Is that how you'd say that?
Yeah, Rareth Links, I guess.
Rareth Links. Sounds like a Blizzard player. I don't have a name like that, yeah. Voiced his concerns after more than 90 hours with the character. While in recon mode, the gun will have less spread and an increased magazine size. As a Sentry, Blizzard wants Bastion to be more of a tank buster while also feeling less suicidal. To help with that, they have tested tweaks like increasing the spread and removing headshots by lowering the amount of damage received in this mode. Lastly, Blizzard made some changes to the self-repair. In the current build, Bastion can repair while moving without being interrupted when taking damage. To balance it out, it is now on a resource system similar to D.Va's defense matrix, end quote. Jacob, I want to hear from you. How do you feel about this?
I think it's pretty exciting. Bastion's, I don't know, he's been just okay for a while. I know when the game was in first, like when it first was on beta, Bastion had like a little Reinhardt shield in front of him, so like no one could touch him. He was so powerful, and like ever since then he's got very few tweaks, I guess you would say. So I don't know, I always think it's exciting when characters get new buffs or debuffs just to change the meta and new characters become viable and stuff like that. So I've been meaning to play more Overwatch lately because I've always wanted to play more competitive. I've never really given it, the time that I want to. So I think like before the time that Horizon comes out and while I'm just playing inside, I'm going to play more Overwatch and just really dive into competitive and like, just really play it a lot because, I really haven't played a lot of competitive. I know I'm going on a little rant here, but
no, that's fun.
The Bastion changes are pretty cool. And, I'm excited for him. I really don't play that much Bastion, so it'll be cool to test him out once the changes go live.
Totally, yeah. I wish I had more time to play Overwatch with you. Like I said, in time I will, for sure. Yeah. But it sucks not being able to play any games.
You got more important things to do. It's understandable.
Yeah, well, more important. Okay. Work and school,
well, you wouldn't be doing it if they weren't
break.
More important, would you?
No, you're right. But as far as the updates to Bastion are concerned, it's always hard for me to comment a whole lot before playing them or experiencing them for myself or even seeing them in action. I haven't even seen them in action yet.
Yeah, I don't do the PTR. I just watch people play PTR.
So they do sound cool to me, though. Yeah. So it's interesting that he's getting upgrades. I always like hearing about new stuff coming to Overwatch.
Speaking of Bastion, I got the Year of the Rooster skin for him. Instead of the bird, he has a rooster on his shoulder.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
A rooster. Is it like a bigger? I mean, a rooster's bigger than a bird.
It's a little bigger model, yeah. But it's
Big cock.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Zach. Yeah, big cock on Bastion's shoulder.
It's the year of the cock, Zach. How do you feel?
Rise up.
Amen, brother. We got another one from Eddie Mackey of GameSpot. This is an update on the Skate 4 hashtag on Twitter last week from a EA guy or something. It says, quote, an Electronic Arts community manager recently tweeted about Skate 4 fueling the speculation that the company might be working on its long-dormant skateboarding series. It's not happening, at least not yet. EA has confirmed. During an earnings call today, EA CEO Andrew Wilson confirmed that that EA is, quote, not presently making Skate 4. He joked that this is a big disappointment for EA CFO Blake Jorgensen, who is apparently a fan of the series. EA hasn't ruled out eventually making a new Skate game, but it doesn't appear that it will happen anytime soon or ever. Speaking of which, Tony Hawk is apparently working on a new game without Activision. This is a quote from Tony Hawk. I'm potentially working on something, but it's so early I couldn't talk about it, Hawk said. I don't have any contracts signed, but it's exciting. I feel like it's with the right people, so I should know more in the next couple of months.
My sources have confirmed a particular leak about this game.
Really?
It's Tony Hawk Ride 2.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's like for sure. Are you just kidding?
They're my sources. They never lie.
Okay, good. Because
brand
Tony Hawk
new,
Ride is the best Tony Hawk game.
Brand
in general.
new peripheral to skateboard on. It's complete. It fixes all the problems.
Can you wear a PSVR headset as well?
Yes. You got your VR on. You got your Move controllers in hand. You
got
actually
the board on your feet?
dock them to the board.
Right.
And it's like you're skateboarding, dude.
No, never have to leave
Tony
the house
Hawk.
again.
Tony Hawk would never, ever lead us astray.
No, let me rephrase this again.
We all need to put our trust in this.
Let me rephrase what I said. Tony Hawk Ride is the best game ever made.
Thank you.
So
No, that's Thief.
Right behind Thief.
yeah, exactly.
Thief and Tony
Excuse
Hawk
me, I
Ride.
just committed a sin there. Thief and then Tony Hawk Ride.
Yeah. What we need is a stealth skateboarding game. Then we'll truly have the greatest game
What
of
could
all
Tony
time.
Hawk do any better than Skate has already done or is going to do eventually?
I don't know.
I have no clue.
I feel like you'd have to like copy like
because
just-
Pro Skater 5 was obliterated by critics.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't
what
know.
could he do?
Have
They
a
just-
better soundtrack.
You think he's gonna go with an indie studio, or do you think it's like a big name?
We need Lil Wayne again.
What if he
first
made
of
like
all.
a PS4 exclusive Tony Hawk game?
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, make it PS4 exclusive.
Yeah, your
'cause I don't
PlayStation
care about it.
fanboys showing
Yeah.
Garrett.
I didn't
I
think
think it'd be
Skate
cool.
3 was that great.
No,
I
so
enjoyed
I
it. Skate 2 was awesome.
No, Skate 2 is the best one by far.
Well,
Skate 3 was fun.
And Skate 2 with friends was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, that was a great time waster.
Do you think people want a more arcadey or more realistic Tony Hawk? I feel like when you have the name Tony Hawk, I think you want that classic, more arcadey
I
Tony
agree
Hawk.
with
That's
that.
but
what I'm
actually implemented good.
Or that's
which
what I
5
mean,
didn't
like,
do well.
because they tried to do that with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, and it sucks, apparently. I've never played it myself, but apparently it's awful. So I don't know what they would do differently with a
I think it
different
just
studio.
doesn't. I don't think it's like, oh, this is the same as all the older, therefore it's awful. I think it just was inherently just a bad game.
Like, it was
wasn't
developed
done
poorly
well.
and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
So, I don't know.
So,
That's kind of sucks about Skate 4, because I always get excited about the possibility of a new Skate game. I mean, Skate 3, like we said, was fine. Skate 2 is definitely the best, but I feel like moving to new hardware, since they haven't made one since the previous generation, there's a lot of potential there. So, I don't know.
Skate 4 on the Frostbite engine. It's going to happen.
It'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
I'll see why it wouldn't. They're throwing everything on the Frostbite engine.
You're right.
Is this newest Madden on Frostbite, or is it the next one?
I think it's
Or is it the
the
FIFA?
new
latest
I
one.
think, and FIFA as well.
Okay.
The new FIFA's new. That's what we were playing right before we came over here. We
Mhm.
played like 5 games of the new FIFA.
Yeah, FIFA 17 runs incredibly.
It does.
So it was like a night and day difference, because I remember we played the demo for 17 and then jumped back to 16. It
And
was
you were like,
insanely
are you kidding
different.
Me? Yeah.
And normally I'm like, oh, the sports games are the same every year, but it was significantly smoother.
Did I showed you I sent you the Snapchat, right, of me hitting the goalpost.
Like 4 times in a row. Yeah.
So it's like one of the videos that you would just see on YouTube, like, oh, so unlucky. I literally did that in one of the games and almost like bashed my TV in.
Yeah, I can't even blame you for that. I would go insane myself.
Yeah.
You should upload it to Facebook and like have those giant borders and be like, "This is totally me when I play FIFA."
Yeah.
and like have you kicking
FIFA
and-
be like.
yeah.
I
Have
should
you
just want to
kicking in a
gag
wall.
myself when I see stuff like that.
Too lazy to do anything. but
I could make it for
Dude,
you.
you get a ton of likes, and you'd feel better about yourself.
And you'll get like 108 million views somehow. It's like every Facebook video has like 10 million views.
Dude, I read some analytics say that more people watch videos on Facebook than YouTube.
It's because they're so easy and accessible because you're just scrolling and they just appear there.
Yeah, they force yourself. They like force you to watch it.
Exactly.
It's true.
That's what's funny. I see more videos on Facebook than I see anything else nowadays.
I do.
That's like a video website.
And I think it's good if you are friends with people who you actually have the same sense of humor.
Right. Yeah,
I have this
definitely.
one guy that I work with who has the same type of humor that I do. So every time he shares something, I'll like get to work and I'll be like, "You're hilarious," even though he has nothing to do with it. He just shared it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. But then there's also people on my Facebook who I don't think are funny, even though they think themselves.
That's
funny.
about 95% of Facebook.
Yeah, it's like every time I got on Vine, I just like threw up my mouth and deleted the app again.
Vine even knew it was cancer, so it deleted itself.
That's fantastic.
There were a couple funny Vines.
Yeah, there's
like
a few
maybe
people.
3 or 4, but
Yeah.
I can't even remember
So
specifics.
you'd find that little piece of gold in the shit.
And that's what
pile.
that was what would make me keep the app. Sometimes there would be 1 or 2 Vines that were so funny that I'm like, okay, I'll keep the app. But then the rest of the time it was awful.
I always enjoyed Evan's edits of Peyton Manning and the Papa John's commercials. Those are really good edits.
Right.
Poor Vine. It's long gone. Guys, Ben Affleck's no longer directing the Batman movie.
Now, correct me, and I don't know if this is at the end. I read something saying that his like whole participation with the movies in general could be at jeopardy.
That's floating around because he doesn't seem to be too happy with the performance of DC's critical condition at the not the box office, but the critical reception has not been pretty for DC movies thus far. Yeah. And Wonder Woman has a lot riding on its shoulders, and if that isn't received well, then there's Justice League.
They need to pull the damn plug.
Yeah, and if that isn't received
everything.
well, it's over. Now they've already begun. I think they're just now beginning production on Aquaman. The Flash lost 3 directors, and they went to a page 1 rewrite, which means they're rewriting it from scratch, completely starting over.
Gosh.
So they're having major issues at DC, and a lot of people are saying it's because they don't have a Kevin Feige. Like Marvel has a Kevin Feige who oversees everything, but they don't have anyone like that at DC. It's like chickens with their heads cut off running around in DC. What do we do?
They have. Is it that hard to just make a good movie?
I think it's just
I
the
guess it is,
executives are
apparently.
challenging a lot of people because the executives want it a certain way, and all these directors that want to put their creative input on these films are being challenged by these
They
executives.
need to get
I just-
together and just give the middle finger to that guy and just be like, do you want to make a successful cinematic universe or do you not? And like they have all the money in the world to just throw at somebody to make these good. Like I don't see
The reason why it's hard for me to get into DC, it's like whether you watch catch a glimpse of like a Marvel TV show or a Marvel movie or a standalone movie or an Avengers movie, everything is in the same universe. Everything seems like it goes together. The few things that I've seen, like I don't know, it feels weird. They feel like totally separate
I'm
entities.
talking about DC.
Yes, like anything DC just doesn't feel like it like gels correctly.
You know
together.
why? I think it's because Zack Snyder has such a specific style. And
then everything.
well, I know he's
else
only
is-
directed 2 out of the 3 DC movies we've gotten, but even David Ayer also kind of directs like a darker style as well. But the cinematography of Zack Snyder's movies are very unique. And then you see Suicide Squad, which is so drastically different. Granted, I mean, a lot of the Marvel movies are different, but at the same time, they look very similar. They all
Yeah,
have
I
like the
see-
same
I see
color
what you're
palette
saying.
and everything, and they kind of that's why they can all be different. Like Doctor Strange is much different than like Iron Man's movies, for example. But at the same time, they all share a similar color palette that all kind of keeps them all together.
Yeah,
But
I really enjoyed that movie, Doctor Strange.
I liked it a lot
I
too.
thought it was fantastic.
I still haven't even seen it yet.
Really?
Pretty good.
I'm so behind on movies.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, but just for clarification, this is a quote from Ben Affleck. Well, it gets to the quote. It says, Ben Affleck has decided to step down as director of The Batman and remain on as producer and star of the project. Affleck is still on board to play the superhero, but sources close to the talent said Affleck and Warner Bros., after discussing how to best make the film possible, yeah, that's what it says, came to the decision together. Quote, this is from Ben Affleck. There are certain characters who hold a special place in the hearts of millions, Affleck said in a statement. Performing this role demands focus, passion, and the very best performance I can give. It has become clear that I cannot do both jobs to the level they require. Together with the studio, I have decided to find a partner and a director who we are currently looking for. We are currently looking for a director. I remain extremely committed to this project and look forward to bringing this to life for fans around the world. Sources say this decision was solely made based on what's best for the project and had nothing to do with the recent disappointment of Affleck's recent directing job, Live by Night. Affleck and Warner Bros. Will now begin searching for a director. Sources say that there's a short list and that War for the Planet of the Apes helmer, Matt Reeves, is among those on the list. So it's a shame because Ben Affleck really is a talented director. And I know a lot of people said Live by Night was just okay, and it also didn't do well in the box office. It didn't make a whole lot of money.
The trailers look good too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They say that the first half of the movie is awesome, and then it gets really boring after that. That's just what a lot of critics have said that I've listened to. But it is a shame because Ben Affleck generally is a very talented director, and I don't think it's the end of the world. Just think about how funny this would be, though. Is Ben Affleck in the hulking bat suit acting out in the movie, and then he like runs off camera. It's like, all right, we're going to do this next. You go do that. He's like directing in the bat suit the whole time. So it sounds like a ton of stress. And a lot of people have been saying, like, oh, he's going through a lot of personal life stuff, too. It's like he doesn't want all that stress on his plate right now, blah, blah, blah. But at least he's saying that he's still committed to the project, even if he's just blowing smoke. He says he's committed. I loved him as Batman and Batman v Superman. His cameo in Suicide Squad was probably the coolest part of the movie to me. So I'm excited to see more Ben Affleck if DC even makes it that far. I have no idea.
I don't think there's a problem to like worry about it. I will say this, as long as he can show up and do what he did in Batman v Superman, then I'll be fine. Just because that's the only reason I like that movie.
Right.
If it would have been somebody else, that movie would have probably been one of the worst things I've ever seen. I just enjoyed him as Batman, but I don't know. Let's just throw J.J. Abrams in there. I feel like he's got to do one of every franchise.
J.J. I'll get plenty of those lens flares for Batman.
We just got to get him to do one movie in every franchise ever. And then
to reinvigorate it. Yeah, bring it back to life.
That's right.
I will say directors are definitely one thing. Matt Reeves is super talented. I love all those new Apes movies. And I think Casey laughed at that too. All the Apes movies are really good.
I love the Ape movies.
Yeah. But another one, a name that's been bounced around for a long time to direct a Batman movie, I think this would be so awesome. George Miller, who directed Mad Max Fury Road. That'd be awesome.
You know, I've still never seen that movie.
It's so good.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I know. Didn't Evan tell you it like sucks or something? Yeah. I promise you, he's wrong.
It was one of those movies where I literally had like 10 people. 5 of them said it's horrible. 5 of them said it's incredible. And I just got lazy.
Well, add us to the list because it's awesome.
3 of us are saying it's incredible.
I'll go see it then.
Yeah,
I'll go see it still in theaters, right?
Yeah. But director's one thing, but I just hope it's written well because the biggest rumors have been, it's going to be like Arkham Asylum, take place in Arkham Asylum, like the video game. Yeah. So I think that'd be awesome. You can throw all of his villains in there, and I'd love to see a more grounded, smaller Batman story. It has nothing to do with anyone else in the DC universe. It's just he's locked in Arkham Asylum with all of his villains throughout the whole movie. And in the ending, he gets out, obviously, but I think it'd be so cool to just basically retell the story of Arkham Asylum, but in a cinematic form. It'd be really cool. But hopefully it's in good hands. I'm just going to wait and see. That brings us to our main topic of the show, boys. A more laid-back type topic, but a fun one nonetheless. And it spawned, and now it's funny because it comes from a community member named Brandon. But I also thought of this idea recently. For some reason, I'd seen a trailer for Horizon or some other game that got me really excited. I'm like, man, we haven't done a topic dedicated to our favorite video game trailers before. And there's so many great ones that have sparked heavy memories in my heart, extreme nostalgia, and have almost made me cry. That's how emotional I get to some of these trailers. So this one comes from Brandon from the community. He says, hey guys, listening to some of your older podcasts at work, and Garrett is talking about the Gears of War movie. This brought back memories of the first, I believe, trailer for Gears of War, the one with the Mad World song playing. So my question is, what are your favorite video game trailers? Trailers that send chills down your spine or get you giddy, or just trailers that you remember really being awesome and well produced. Mine would have to be Dark Souls Xbox 360/PS3 Bartholomew trailer. The music and video were the debut of my descent into Dark Souls becoming one of my favorite video games. Brandon, thank you so much for submitting this topic. This is really exciting. So I have a pretty big list of trailers that we can kind of run through and share our thoughts. And if I miss any, by all means, throw some in there. Let's address the obvious ones first. Gears of War's Mad World trailer had me begging my parents for an Xbox 360 the first time I saw it.
I think the Gears of War 2 Rendezvous
I have that on here as well.
Is also good.
So the thing about Mad World was I was watching something stupid like Fear Factor with my parents or something. You guys ever watch Fear Factor?
Used to love that show.
Me too. My family, I watch it every week. when we used to be on with Joe Rogan. We were watching a show like that. I remember the Gears of War Mad World trailer came on. It like instantly captivates you because something about that version of the Tears for Fear song just he has you locked in. See Marcus running through the streets, and he bursts into that building, and there's the big, I always forget what those spider creatures are called in Gears. But he starts shooting at it, and just the song is so emotional and beautiful, but at the same time, the imagery is so horrific. And that just like captured my imagination. I instantly was like, and it does the Xbox 360 logo. Still one of the coolest animations to me is the 360 logo. I remember seeing that being like, what on earth is that? And I only had a PS2 at the time and a GameCube, I think. I'd yet to upgrade to a 360. So I instantly, of course, went to YouTube and typed in Gears of War, watched the trailer again, and I found a gameplay demo from Cliffy B, debuting, I think it was the very beginning of the game. I'll never forget just a few moments that stick out to me when he was taking cover. For one, I had never seen a cover-based third-person shooter to this extent before. That immediately had my interest. I'm like, wow, this looks fantastic. Takes cover and blind fires his Nasher shotgun over this wall and blows a locust arm off, and it lands on the wall, and it's like the head falls over into his lap. I was like, whoa! I'd never seen gore like that in a game either. I'm like, that's so cool. And at the end, revs up the chainsaw and chainsaws through a locust. And that's when I was like, yep, I have to have this game. Begged my parents for it. They're like, no, it's too violent. You can't have it. But I think I finally begged long enough to they eventually, for Christmas one year, they got me a 360 in Gears. But that trailer, I bet, sold a lot of Xbox 360s back in the day for people that didn't already have one, because I was completely captivated by it. And that's what launched me into my life as an Xbox gamer. 360. I have Xbox One now that I don't play as often as I should, but I love Gears 4 as well. But yeah, Gears of War 1, loved it. Loved all the Gears games. I know that trailer did it for me. But Preston, you mentioned the Rendezvous trailer for Gears 2.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I like that trailer even more than the Mad World trailer. I think it's so awesome. Just the poem
Just
of
the
guy,
monologue going on.
Yeah, reading the Rendezvous
good.
trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was convinced, man, when I saw that trailer, man, Dom is so dead. So many video game trailers tease that a character is going to die, but they don't die. Spoiler alert, he dies.
You had to
in the
wait
third
for
one.
another game.
Yeah. But I was convinced he was dead in the second one, but that is a really awesome trailer that got me very excited. That was also one of my most anticipated games of all time, was Gears 2. I'll never forget, it came out, we were sophomores in high school, came out on a Friday, and you had to go see Madagascar 2, and I laughed at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think before we dive in, because I know me and you obviously feel very strongly about all the Halo 3 stuff that came out promotional-wise. I'm trying to remember the exact trailer, what it was, but for AC4 with the American Revolution.
I think it's AC3.
AC3, yeah, with the American Revolution with Connor. Not only were like the promotional posters and all that stuff just like so awesome, because finally it was like we understood American history and like knew all the details of it. But wasn't it do you remember the trailer for it? He was like chasing somebody down off horseback, leapt off a rock in the middle of like this giant like almost like Gettysburg type of battlefield.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to remember it, but I remember that being like incredible and me being so psyched.
I remember the mission based on that trailer sucked.
Yeah, so I remember you follow that guy through the camp and get up there and you just jump off a thing to get him.
Honest,
yeah.
But just like waiting for the cannons to go and you're like hiding behind rocks. Like
I was so pumped for that game to come out.
I think it's a fine game.
It is.
Some people act like that game's like the Antichrist.
No, I thought it was.
I still love that game.
Yeah.
Connor's one of my favorite assassins
Connor's
too.
Cool.
Yes.
So
I love the Achilles outfit you got like at the very end, like the Master Assassin outfit. I always thought that looked cool.
So awesome.
I love that hatchet too. I think it was very satisfying.
Yeah, the combat was very fun in that game.
It was.
But speaking of Halo 3, what was the one where it was like the molded figures across the?
That's the Believe trailer.
The Believe trailer. Okay, so that one is. It's tough to say between the Halo 3 trailers. That's probably my favorite one, just because it was the whole. Everybody thought that Halo 3 was for sure going to be the last one. And there was even before the game came out, I remember there was like, Master Chief might die at the end of this. So when they showed that Believe trailer of like it zooming into this entire battlefield that someone had made, and it was just like people everywhere. And then you get a Chief and he's being like choked by like a brute or an elite. And then you see the sticky grenade like light up. Yeah. And then I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, because I just assumed that was going to like be near the end or something, even though that scene wasn't a thing. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
But still, nonetheless, I thought it was incredible. And when they did the trailers of the old UNSC. Like,
those are some of my favorite ones.
Some of the old guys in the museums going through and they like pick up the old like alien like Spiker or whatever it was called. Those are awesome trailers.
They are. Yeah, I liked it. It was just the whole war veteran vibe. Like, they're like, this was the enemy Spiker. Like, this is what the brutes carry. And he's like, I don't like touching it because it like brings back bad memories and stuff. I'm like, that's cool.
It brought like a super real world to Halo. And then of course the
And
the
they're
kids staring up into the sky.
Yeah, they're also emotional because they most of them tease the death of Master Chief, specifically the one with the old guys, and they're like, "Yeah, we would have been dead if it weren't for the Master Chief," and then it would just cut to like the Halo 3 logo and stuff. I'm like, "That's so cool. Where is he now?"
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
yeah, Starry Night is the one that got me the most pumped up because it's just so epic. Because it just it starts out with the little kids like.
I can tell you where Master Chief is right now. He's in
Where
a
is he?
badass new trilogy. That's where he is.
Yeah, you mean the fan fiction trilogy?
What?
I call anything after Halo 3 fan fiction.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I think the story's the goofiest thing on the face of the earth.
I don't. And how they promoted for Halo. What was it? Halo 5,
Mhm.
where with Locke and
Yeah.
Master.
Halo
Well,
5
I
story
liked
is
that
terrible.
trailer in Halo 5 where they're like running down that hill and shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
before- I
that's
think it was
the
Locke's
that's
team.
the opening of the game.
Yeah, I really like
no, that was awesome.
Mhm.
But
Like,
no, I
what,
hated
what
how
song
they
was over it.
didn't
I think it
advertise
was.
correctly.
Oh, it was Kesha's TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok on the clock. I think it was like Guns N' Roses or something, or Def Leppard. I don't know.
That came out when we were juniors in high school.
It did. That was winter break of our junior year.
I remember every girl at our school was obsessed with that song.
I totally did.
That's how
not
I found
listen
out
to
about
on
it.
Repeat.
Mhm.
It's Cheers.
I listened to it too.
Yeah.
I listened to a metal
Do you
version of
remember,
it for a
do you
while
remember making a
too.
music video for that?
Dude, I do with Zach Rivera.
Yeah, it was on a snow day.
Yeah. I remember someone pulling one of us down the street on a skateboard and us singing to the song.
That
we
happened.
danced in my garage to it. Man, we are
Yeah. We are weird.
losers,
dude.
man.
Really weird.
Yeah, we made it because we were that bored after school one day.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I totally forgot about that.
When you could have been chasing platinum trophies, you were just.
So-
For real, dude.
That was before I was on PlayStation.
The Starry Night show.
Before I
that's when
betrayed the Empire.
It's going with
before
like
you were a real gamer.
Yeah.
what I betrayed the Empire. The Starry Night ones where it's having like flashes of him in battle, right? And where he throws down the bubble shield.
Yeah. I love when they're like, obviously the kids are like, oh, well, you wonder what's up there? Like, you think we'll ever meet them? Yeah, maybe, blah, blah. And then just that noise happens and it cuts to the battlefield and they say something on the radio like, Chief, I think we lost him. And I just love his line. He's like, not yet. Throws down the bubble shield, runs in the battle and just dives into the brutes and just the Halo 3 logo and the theme song freaking just gives me chills now thinking about it.
I know. Such that game. Still my number one game of all time.
You know what trailer? I mean, a lot of these trailers almost make me cry, but the one out of all of these that still I feel the burn every time I watch it. I watch it like once a year just to remember. I think it was E3 2006. Maybe it was 2007. I can't remember because I know the game came out in September 2007. But the trailer that announced the game where there's the Covenant ships that fly in. There's that big, I think it's called the Ark or something, in that field that lights up and shoots the blue light into the sky.
Yeah.
And Chief is on the edge and he's looking at it and just, typical Halo music's playing and just shows all this stuff. And then it does this big flash and just cuts to black and you hear Cortana go, this is the way the world ends. And then like the Halo 3 song kicks in and like the logo flashes up. I was like freaking like bawling like a baby the first time I saw that. I was like so pumped. I was like, because I loved the ending of Halo 2 and there's like a huge cliffhanger at the end, but still to this, just thinking about it now, like almost brings a tear to my eye because I was just so happy that Halo 3 was happening. And it was so beautiful.
It was.
So
I gotta say, sorry, Halo's main theme music is probably one of the best like theme songs.
it's probably one of the most
It's one of the-
recognizable
yeah,
themes in
it's one of the
gaming too.
best.
Absolutely.
There's only been 2 trailers to make me like have a absolute moment and cry. Almost on the verge is the Skyrim Fusro Da trailer.
I have that on here
That
too.
trailer, I watch that occasionally, like especially
Right.
when the special edition was announced. I watched that a few times. Like that trailer kicks ass, dude.
I would die
So
to Dragonborn.
good.
The theme song Dragonborn, I would die to that song.
Yeah, I would too.
I would fight to the death to Dragonborn.
Next to that was the Fallout 4 reveal trailer, which I was at a client's house I was working at, hurtled in their bathroom, like watching that on my phone, like having a freaking meltdown.
Yeah.
Just seeing it for the first time
after
after
all that time.
all of that just hell we went through waiting for that game. And like I literally like had a conniption like laying on the floor there freaking out. I watched that trailer like a million times that day.
Yeah, it's not obviously a combination of it being revealed finally and seeing it all, but it's the melody played on the piano.
Yeah, dude.
Every single time
Yes.
they hit that last note and it shows the lightning bolt, it freaking sends shockwaves of emotion through
I
me.
know.
And
It
just the
was so
line where
amazing.
he's looking out and he's like, "Let's go, pal," and just
Yeah.
boom, finally, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh!"
I know. I thought that day would never come because we know when we lived in the apartment together, we went through just bunch of assholes had no
how
time.
many, like 5 different times somebody was like, oh, Fallout 4 finally leaked.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And we'd be like, oh my God, look at this. Next day,
we would like follow the websites with like countdowns and like troll messages to come up and
riddles
stuff.
And shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
So
Solve the puzzle.
yeah, once that finally came, I about had a conniption, and of course the world famous Preston Spider-Man meltdown.
I gotta say, Preston, I think I said this during our E3 recap. I've known you for I think 18 years now. I've never seen another human being in person react so emotionally to something in my entire. It like frightened me. Preston was so emotional. When they first showed Spider-Man hit the wall in the trailer, Preston not only screamed bloody murder, but he ended up crawling up the couch like The Exorcist or something, into the top arm, into the corner of the room, like perched like an owl, screaming and crying. I'm talking not just like pretending. I mean, tears are pouring, and Jacob was there too. Tears pouring down his face.
When did this happen?
This is when they revealed the exclusive Spider-Man game coming to PS4 at E3 this past year, and
I don't think I even saw. That's how far out of the loop I am.
it looks fantastic.
Oh, because I knew it was rumors going around, and like
Right. We were hesitant to believe
it
them.
was so good to be true that I just was like, it doesn't exist, and just it shows New York and Peter Parker talking about Queens, and obviously I knew it's Spider-Man, so I'm like, oh, and then this new version of Spider-Man smacks the wall, and I just was like, like it blew my brain. I don't even remember what happened.
I don't even think you have memory of it. He was in such shock. I mean, screaming and crying. I mean, you could win an Oscar for that performance.
Where did this happen?
Thank you.
In the room across the hall.
Yeah, my girlfriend saw it too, and she's still with me. So that's
a good sign.
That's a good sign.
That's the thing. I don't think anything, no force on earth could ever make you react to anything like you did to that Spider-Man.
That's how you
trailer.
know I wasn't faking it right there.
Right. That's why I
don't even
knew this
remember what
topic
I
was
did.
worth it, was because of that moment. You by far reacted harder to any trailer that I think any human being ever has.
I know. It kind of brought me down a little bit though when you told me I frightened you. I was like, oh, this is supposed to be a happy moment, and I scared you.
I just didn't expect it all because like I said, I'd known you for so long, and of course we've seen each other cry many times. I'm sure in the past,
several times.
Yeah, because we cry together and just kiss on the mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
What?
But what? No, don't worry about it, dude.
I feel like that's gonna be me and Jacob.
No, dude, don't worry about it.
Falcons win. I feel like me and Jacob are gonna start.
Hey,
crying.
when this posts, we're gonna know already.
Yeah.
So
If the Falcons win, you know what my response will be? It'll be that gif of that bearded lumberjack that just does that very gentle smile. That'll be my reaction.
Yeah.
Me and Jacob are gonna be flipping out because we used to almost try to watch every single Sunday together.
Yep.
Even in the
I never
apartment.
dreamed we'd
I remember
make it to the
that.
Super Bowl back
Yeah.
then. Well, we
It's
almost
cool. There's
did.
actually
We almost
stakes
did,
in the Super
yeah.
Bowl this year.
Yeah. Haven't been there in 18 years.
It is cool that everywhere you go, I see like Falcons flags.
Dude, I have
Everyone's
never
like,
seen
"Rise
so
up."
many people wearing Falcon stuff at Walmart. I was like,
Yeah.
y'all are a bunch of bandwagon
It's funny how that
motherfuckers.
works.
That's why I didn't buy a shirt, because I didn't want to be them.
Well, at first I was like, where in the world did all these people come from on Facebook being like, oh, go Falcons?
Yeah,
but then at the
yeah.
same time, like now that we've like made it to this point, like I don't even care. I just think it's awesome to a degree that the entire city's like getting behind it.
Right.
That's cool, but I feel like I did not earn the right to like go crazy for the Falcons. I didn't
You gotta
go
start somewhere.
Hey, you have to start
I understand,
sometime,
but it's
so
like, oh,
might as
what
well
a
start at the Super
coincidence.
Bowl.
You
Dude, I got a
started going to the
jersey, got
Super Bowl.
season tickets, and
It's just-
I've always loved the Falcons. I just never talk about them.
It's just so cool, like, if you were with the Falcons through, like, the numerous horrible years and you still stuck with it and you finally see them prevail to the top and you are like, yes, like, this is what we want. And then you have these bandwagon fans right next to you going like, yeah, I didn't care when we sucked, but I'm still here cheering and stuff. Yeah,
No,
you
I
can do
agree.
whatever you want. But it's
No.
just like, I want it. I didn't buy a Falcons shirt because I'm like, I just feel like I didn't stick with the Falcons through all the shit they went through to like wear this shirt. And
I've pretty much
cheer
been
for
a
them.
fan ever since we drafted Matt Ryan, and it's been kind of cool seeing him like go through his journey of like starting as a rookie to now he's in a Super Bowl. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not like a
agree.
long time fan, but you know,
I mean, I started
like you
like
said, you gotta start
intensely
somewhere.
watching football when
Dude.
we were freshmen in high school.
yeah.
You know what I just realized? Matt Ryan used Master Chief's line from the Starry Night trailer. He was in a press interview, and they're like, Matt Ryan, how do you feel about out of all the teams in the playoff, you're the only quarterback who hasn't won a Super Bowl? And he goes, not yet. I'm like,
See?
I
Right
hope
there.
that line pays off because that was badass.
Illuminati confirmed.
Right. Yeah, like I said, my goodness, dying over
Calm
there.
down.
I'm fine.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Falcons either, just because I don't keep up with them. But of course, I want them to win for the sake of Atlanta.
Well, the entire country wants them to win because everybody hates the Patriots.
It's good for the team though, because the Falcons have always had a iffy fan base, so it'll be good for them to, if they do win the Super Bowl, there'll be more people showing up to the games, and there's that new stadium coming,
I think it's going to be huge for the city. Not only is our city growing in like every way you can imagine.
Stop coming here.
But especially with the new stadium and the new soccer team and the Braves moving to a place where they're going to have way more people going to see the games.
It's also essentially Hollywood.
It's going to be more traffic in that area,
Exactly.
unfortunately.
No, it's probably going to
death.
move. I can't stand all of you people go home.
I really do
There's
like
too
this
many
state.
of you damn people here.
That's why people are coming.
Let me say this. I couldn't stand the traffic, and I didn't think that I cared about Atlanta until I moved to another city, and I realized that I actually really like Atlanta, like a lot. Like all the
It's a
little,
good
like
place.
all the little things that I would do throughout the year, like the concerts, the football games, basketball, all the different stuff that I would do. I'd be like, I don't really do that stuff that often. Doesn't matter. Until I moved to another city, and like those Saturdays for college football, or the Sundays for like the Falcons. Or all the concerts we used to go to that would always come to Atlanta. Like when I'm not, I'll like notice that and I'll be like, that really sucks. I actually really want to be back in Atlanta now. But I don't know, because Orlando's, and I just hate the heat. So
Yeah, it's got to be
Can't
great this
stand
time of year.
yeah, it's okay.
What is it there right now?
I don't know. It's fluctuated a lot recently, but I mean, it'll normally get back up into the 80s, 90s.
Nice.
That's
You-
too much. Too much. I like, if I could go somewhere where it's like 50s, 60s all year round, that's
Yep.
where I want to be.
I'm fine with it topping out at like 75.
Yeah,
And then
75 is the
having my
perfect
nights
temperature to
drop
me.
down to
That is
40s
the
or
perfect
50s.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I want to be cold at night, and I want to be comfortable during the day.
Amen, brother.
Anything in the
style.
70s is the perfect degree.
I agree.
In Fahrenheit.
Zach and I have this thing where we like say the same line at the same time. We've done it for years. And
Yeah.
he's been gone for...
It's weird that we're doing it now because, like, all the time when we used to sleep in the same bed together, we would, like, it's a thing that happens.
we
Like,
finish
people-
each other's sentences.
Yeah, we finish each
Yeah,
other's
you guys would like
sandwiches.
kiss and talk.
What?
Dude, we've
What?
never kissed, only twice.
But, yeah, we finish each other's sentences. It's pretty cute and stuff.
Yeah.
Video game trailers.
It's not the only thing you finish.
Whoa, man, watch it.
Well, watch it.
Well, watch it.
You trying to finish my
I
sentences,
finished my
man?
sentence, man. What?
Yeah, me and
I'm
Preston.
totally not.
Wow, you guys are really good at this.
Are we
You
falling
guys
apart here?
trans?
What we're trying to say is we're all in love.
You're all love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, you're really good.
dude, we're really good at We're good at
You're killing me,
What?
man.
what?
You know what trailer got me excited back in the day?
Old Republic.
Yeah, I was going to...
Yeah,
those are on the
are-
list,
those
too.
are-
All of the Old Republic... I've been touching Jacob's shoulder for like an hour. Sorry, Jacob.
You just grabbed it.
An hour.
Okay, it
That's a
feels
little
like an
bit of an
hour.
exaggeration.
It feels like it. It's so meaty and delicious. All the Old Republic trailers are incredible.
If they could literally make a 3-hour movie out of the old, like, just doing that same style of the Old Republic trailers, and
Yeah,
I
the
would
animation's
watch it every
incredible.
single day. That's fantastic.
They should
The
ju-
little
yeah.
storyline that they have to build up to the game is fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
I think we have a community question about Old Republic, too, that you and I will get to talk about. It's
Oh,
pretty
very
exciting. But, yeah, all those trailers are beautiful, and it just makes me hope that maybe one day we'll get a really cool Old Republic series or film, perhaps.
I would love it. I've told you a million times, all these like little ideas that people have thought about turning into movies or whatever, if they could just do a series like how Game of Thrones has gone, but for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh my, I would
Well,
love it.
If in terms of games, if there's a chance for us to get one, now's the best time with EA predominantly making all these Star Wars games.
Indeed.
So with I don't know, BioWare's doing their new IP thing, so we're probably not getting one from them anytime soon.
Yeah. The Spider-Man 2 trailer, and just to clarify, we already talked about the Spider-Man PS4 trailer, but the Spider-Man 2 trailer that came to the original Xbox and PS2, the movie version, still to this day my favorite Spider-Man game, probably until we get this new one. But the first time I saw that trailer and realized that you can not only run on the streets, but the web slinging was wherever you shoot, you can swing to, and it was completely free roam
That
in the
game
world.
was incredible.
It blew my mind.
Hey, dude, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 did that too.
Yeah, vastly superior if we're being honest. But and it was voiced by Tobey Maguire too, which is Obviously, that never happens anymore when the movie actor voices the game character.
Yeah, because they said if you keep
they don't
freaking crying in these movies, we're going to fire you.
Yeah, and look what happened.
We don't even have
Kept
movie-based games anymore for them to do that.
That was one of the first real open-world experiences I ever had in a game. And the fact that I was Spider-Man, I was obsessed. You know, I talked about that game so much to my friend across the street that one time he shut me up. He just went, dude, I'm going to be honest, I just really don't care. And I was like, sorry. Because I talked about it so much.
You just put on the glasses, deal with it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I love that trailer as well. We already talked about it. All the Assassin's Creed trailers are awesome. Specifically the Ezio trailer when they first revealed Assassin's Creed 2.
That one's badass.
And he shows
dude.
both as blades at that one part. I'm like, dude, two blades. Yeah. My goodness.
Double rainbow.
What's happening?
I think you're dying.
Help. My throat's so dry.
You need some water. Here, have some of
do.
this. I haven't even
Thank you.
opened that yet. Yeah, all of Assassin's Creed trailers are cool. I like Black Flags a lot too.
Every single time I see one of those water bottles that's just like purified drinking water, think straight to Fallout.
Yeah.
Like every single time it's just like one of the generic ones that just like says purified drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I ran out of supplies, I'd go in the lakes and I'd drink that water.
Drink the nice radiated lake water.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think one of the cooler trailers in recent years that was technically, I think it was a gameplay demo / trailer, was the Far Cry 3 Insanity trailer. And they debut, what's his name in Far Cry 3 again? Vaas. That's right. Do you know the definition of insanity? I didn't before that, and then he told us. I'm like, that's a great point.
Pretty sure that's why like half the world knows the definition of insanity.
Just because of that
trailer. Yeah.
It's still my favorite Far Cry game. I like 4 a lot too, but I just love the tropical
Can I
setting
just
of
say I
Far Cry
hate how
3.
much that quote is quoted now? 'Cause
Insanity?
I feel, yeah, that insanity quote. Like I feel like it's quoted in every single thing I hear now.
Oh.
And I'm like, listen, we get the definition.
Such a shame you murder him within an hour and a half of playing the game.
Right, yeah. So when you kill him, I was like, oh, it's just a goof. He's not dead.
The end of that game is where you have to go through the whole ritual thing, right? I watched one of y'all play it.
I think I got myself killed because you can grab the girl's boobs at the end. I definitely want to do that,
That's
and
it.
she stabbed me in the
yeah.
throat or something.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
I was like,
I was
credits
watching.
roll. I'm like, worth it.
At least it got laid.
Oh yeah.
No, I think she said they like kill all your friends.
Nice.
Yeah, they
stuff,
kill all
too.
your friends and then you impregnate her and then she stabs you.
Double, nice.
Yeah, because you're like the chosen one on the
Yeah,
island.
I mean that
something.
doesn't seem. I was thinking like when I didn't get that ending, but I was thinking like maybe they should wait and see if you're pregnant before you stab the chosen one or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
No, I actually recall feeling pretty bad about that because I didn't know they were going to kill. I think actually they let you know like we're going to kill your friends if you don't choose a certain choice, and I kind of knew, but I was like, I think someone was egging me on to kill them. I think it was you.
That was probably me.
You're like, dude, kill him. I was like, I don't know. I was having like a moral dilemma.
Yeah, that was definitely me.
And finally, I was
I'm
like, okay.
A super morally strict person, but when it comes to video games, I'm just like murder everyone.
Yeah. Got my friends killed. I died, and it was a total waste of time, and I felt really bad at the end. But great game nonetheless. What else we got on here? The initial reveal trailer for BioShock that's all in first person. You remember that
that's cool.
trailer? Dude, that trailer got me so excited.
Where the drill goes through his hand.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
And it shows off the plasma. It's plasmids, right?
Yeah,
I always get those confused with the abilities in Mass Effect. But it shows him using plasma. It's just it's the craziest trailer because first there's the guy floating underneath water. You see Rapture. He's running around fighting splicers crawling on the walls, and there's the big daddy, then there's the little sisters. He's using plasmids. You're like, what on earth is this? It looks insane. But I remember that trailer completely, like kind of similar to Mad World from Gears of War, just completely captured my imagination. I was like, I have to know what that is. And BioShock was easily one of my favorite games on 360. Have the collection on PS4. I played through 3/4 of BioShock, and then something else came out, and I haven't gotten back to it. But Jacob, like I said, it's yours if you want it. You can save some money.
Maybe.
I think we haven't talked about it, and I don't even think it's on your list, but it's definitely one of the most famous video game trailers in probably ever.
Okay.
The initial Dead Island trailer.
Oh, it's on my list.
Oh, it is on there?
Yeah, the
okay.
Dead Island reverse trailer.
Yes,
Your
the
list
one
that
with
never
that girl
ends.
coming back.
Yes.
That I think completely, as a lot of other people said, like. What's the word I'm looking for? Falsely labeled that game
Correct.
Totally.
for what it was.
False advertisement.
Yeah, like the game was.
I bet it sold a
I-
lot because of that
It
trailer.
did.
I was
bought
immediately
it. I bought it because
Oh.
I saw that before I'd. I don't
I remember a guy like sold you on it at GameStop
yeah,
or something.
and I was like,
that.
yeah, whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, like I enjoyed like the first few hours of it just because it was new, but then I got into it and I'm like, this is not really good at all. And then I traded it in like I do everything else because I practically gave GameStop my soul for the past like 10 years.
Speaking of GameStop, when Jacob and I worked there, it's funny because the first few months you work there, they tell you have to say all this BS like sell the credit card, do this, sell them pro memberships, tell them they need to buy more used games, tell them do you want to pre-order. They make you go through this whole spiel, ask for their email like 6 times, and I hated all of it. In the first 3 months, you like have to do that when your manager's watching, but eventually I got to the point I was like, hey, what's up, man? And that's like pretty much it. But it's always funny when I go to GameStop nowadays, and you can always tell it's someone who's just started working there when you go in and they ask you like the 15 questions when you're just trying to buy a game. I have to be like, no, thank you, not today, no, thank you, blah, blah, yes, no, thank you,
You
blah,
want
blah.
that warranty?
Yeah. Do you want the warranty? And there's always the person that like really tries hard. They're like, do you want the warranty that if you scratch or break the disc, you can get it replaced for free? It's only $2 and it protects it for a whole year. And they go on for like 6 paragraphs and always have to wait patiently until they're done. I'm like, and it's like this video series on YouTube called Everyday Courage. An example is they're always very short videos. This guy goes to the car dealership to get his oil changed, and they come back out and they're like, all right, we changed the oil. Also, your rudders need to be replaced. The brake pads are a little rusty. We're going to need to repair the engine. And they list like 100 things, and the bill's like $600. You guys like, so what do you want to do about it today? And it's like this epic buildup of music, and he's just kind of looking around the room. And then finally just goes dead quiet, and he goes, I'll just get the oil changed today. And the car mechanic's like, okay. It's called Everyday Courage. There's Everyday Courage at GameStop when they ask me, like, do you want to pre-order 6 games, or do you want the warranty? And I wait patiently, and there's just a moment of silence. I'm like, no, thank you, not today. So, but I commend all the new GameStop employees that really try hard to get me to, once I filter out when I filter out the noise, I copy a frequency and it analyzes that noise, and then I apply it to the whole track and it filters it all out for me. It's a very convenient plugin.
The more you know.
Exactly.
I know nothing about technology, so thank you for explaining that.
Of course, it's very convenient. But I don't even know how we ended up on GameStop.
Dude, don't do that.
Oh, am I exciting you,
No,
robot?
I'm not.
For those of you who don't know, you've been viewing a robot. Preston Pugh is a robot.
Should we tell why people call Preston the robot?
I think we should.
It's such a stupid story, but we were in a very, very bad Metallica wannabe band in high school. And I mean, we were just awful. Music was half decent, but the vocals were a little rough. But we eventually tanked that band for a new one. But when we started it, Preston was not in the band. It was me and a couple buddies. And eventually Zach hopped onto bass because we couldn't keep a bass player. And Zach pretended to play bass on stage for many shows.
I technically played notes. Technically.
Yeah, we taught Zach how to play one song. But most of the songs, his amp was either completely turned down or just completely off.
I played one show where I was hooked right into the PA.
Yeah.
Like, just turn it down.
I remember every sound check we do, they'd be like, hey man, we can't hear the bass. And Zach would be like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't just whatever. And then I'd be like,
But Zach had really convincing stage presence and would play a whole show with us, quote unquote play.
Like an ox.
And he would get off the stage and guys would be like, dude, sick show. You killed it, man.
I'll never laugh so hard because I thought this guy was joking with me when I played one of those shows at Schwazy's. And I get off the stage and what's it from No Life? They've been touring for like 12 years.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, sick show. And I was like, he's about to be like, what the fuck are you doing with your life? But he was like, and I was like, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, you're serious.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
We played at my high school talent show and Zach came unplugged
from the amp. It was like the shortest
and
amp
played half the song unplugged.
And somebody pointed at him like, "Oh yeah, I knew that. I can totally hear."
I was just going along with it, dude.
God.
Dude, we got made so much fun of in high school. And I remember Zach the day of the talent show. He's the one that fakes playing. Like the rest of us actually perform, but Zach doesn't even actually play in the band. He got interviewed from the yearbook, and they interviewed him, and he did a normal interview. And somehow in the yearbook, the printed versions, and we were like I said, we tried to sound like Metallica. And what did the quote say in the yearbook? It said Zach Bynum from Reverse the Curse
says that our band's a mix of All Time Low and someone else.
Two really alternative
All Time Low
bands.
and like Green Day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never said any of that.
It's like a picture of Zach.
That's slander. That's illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah, that is. I remember being so pissed. That's when we were still.
John got so mad at me, and I'm like, I didn't say those things. Someone typed those up. I can't control that.
I remember being annoyed too, because that's when I thought, like, man, our band's gonna take off one day. I was like so pissed. Then the yearbook it says we sound like All Time Low. I was like, man, we're not soft.
We're not soft, man. We're hardcore. We sound like Metallica.
But eventually,
and
Preston
Creed.
came in because Preston's a very talented guitar player. And he's like, dude, I'll play with you guys. We're like, cool. And deep down, Preston knew the music sucked, but he played with us for fun. And we were all like really into the headbanging thing. And ironically enough, our vocalist was the worst member, but he had the best stage presence. I mean, his headbang looked really badass when he did it.
And we synchronized pretty well.
Yeah, we watched a lot of metalcore videos of metalcore bands, and they all had like synchronized headbanging. We're like, we got to be like those guys. Yep. So of course we're all headbanging, and I can't even keep a beat to save my life on the drums. Like I don't play to a click, so I'm like trying to headbang and like changing from like 160 BPM to like 40 at like the next minute. So it was just a complete disaster. But so Preston tried to headbang with us, and instead of using like his shoulders and neck, he used like his whole torso.
Yeah, because he was focusing so hard on playing the guitar.
Yeah.
While I could easily headbang because I didn't play shit on the bass. I just hit it, essentially. I slapped the bass. And I looked over at Preston, and so after the show, he's like, you don't even play anything. And I'm like, at least I'm not a robot. And we like looked at the video, and Preston's like, like trying to move up and down with just his torso. And that's how he became the robot.
Good times. We had a couple fangirls though. So
we did.
We weren't a total
groupies.
failure.
Yeah, that's right.
So then we scrapped that band and started another band.
That's right.
2 other bands, and they're actually decent bands. We just don't do anything with them. But
That's true.
Yeah, video game trailers. We got a couple more here to talk about. Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it? Soap at the beginning? Some stuff that no, it's a ghost town. What does he say in the trailer?
Is that a trailer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He says like 12 million people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
Was he talking about Chernobyl?
Yeah,
that mission. With like
and then it shows the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Great trailer.
Good stuff.
Good trailer.
It was the first modern Call of Duty trailer we ever got.
Yeah.
And I was really excited about it.
I was too. It was really good.
It's funny because I played the campaign. I'm like, wow, that was great. And I played the multiplayer for like 5 seconds. Like, this sucks ass. Sold it back to GameStop, and Preston called me a couple days later. The multiplayer's amazing. You got to play it. And he was right about that because look how long it's gone on now.
I'm gonna stroke my trophy dick really quick here.
Okay.
I see a lot of people say that Mile High Club is a hard trophy, and I got it within like 30 minutes.
That's when you have to get
on
through
the hardest
plane
difficulty.
Like it's not that hard.
You have to
right.
get through the plane on the hardest difficulties in a certain time limit.
The time limit is like 30 seconds on veteran.
Right.
Yes. I don't see why people think it's so hard. It's really
you also
not.
got the trophy in Titanfall that time
Dude,
at the beginning.
I know. I've heard people say that's the stupidest hard. I got that trophy before I even started the campaign. Yeah. When I started the trial thing, I was like, I got to get this trophy before I can move on. So I had that trophy, before I even started playing the game.
Speaking of that, I feel like the Xbox Rare achievements are like not rare. Like, because I've gotten a ton of them playing through Assassin's Creed. Not even trying to get them. I feel like I'd be like, you climbed a wall, rare achievement.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. I
just don't feel like they're rare. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I have to do anything to get them.
No, I mean, that just shows you, like, how people don't play that much of a game. Like, The Last of Us beating the game, the people that have that trophy is, like, not a lot at all.
Oh,
and I'm like, how did you not beat this game?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of crazy.
The Last of Us sucks. So.
Yeah, that's why.
Literally, like I was talking about Skyrim earlier, it's literally like, boop, you've discovered everything. And I was like, oh, done.
Yeah.
That's it.
That in itself is impressive, though, when you discover every little thing in those massive
I don't know
games.
why. I just like, that's all I care about doing is just seeing and exploring stuff. I really don't care about a whole, like, as far as those type games where it's Skyrim or Fallout, like, I've never really been huge on the storyline.
Speaking of trophies, just real quick, I was listening to a podcast recently where a listener had messaged the podcast. I think it was kind of funny or something.
Is it about the Witcher Platinum?
Yeah.
I heard that too. This guy was like, I'm going to stroke my trophy dick. I platinumed The Witcher. And I was driving and I was like...
I laughed too because even I think it was Colin and Greg, they were both like, wow, that's really impressive. I'm like, our man's platinumed the game twice. Yeah. So, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
Because they're all like really impressed, like, wow, that's a great achievement. I was like, yeah, try doubling that.
I know.
So.
I can never play that game again.
Yeah, so last trailer on the list, unless we can think of anything else, was most recently The Last of Us Part 2.
Great trailer.
Fantastic.
That trailer gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Especially just
really good.
Turn on the crowd reactions to any trailer and it gives you goosebumps. Hence one of them, the initial Twilight Princess reveal trailer where it shows I can
we're not into fairies and stuff.
I can envision it in my hair. in my hair, dude. My shaven head, I can envision it in the hair. I can envision it in my head, it just like showing the temple and then showing Epona running and nobody knows what it is, and then it shows Link draw his sword and the crowd just goes batshit crazy.
That is a great video to watch the crowd's
so
reaction.
Cool. And then the trailer fades out and Miyamoto's there with the Master Sword and the Hylian shield. So awesome.
It is.
Sorry, Matt Ryan just got the MVP of the NFL. So.
Oh, did he?
Who gives a shit? Tom Brady
cool.
deserved it.
Wow. Get the hell out of here.
Glad you won't be at our
Super Bowl
Guys,
watch party.
We've been going for a while, so we'll jump into community questions. But
let's get at it.
Again, video game trailers. If we left any out, any that stick out to you, that
If you've
struck
ever
an
seen
emotional
one,
chord,
let us know.
Yeah, let us know your favorite video game trailers. We'd love to talk about them. Again, Brandon, thank you so much for suggesting the topic. It was a fun one. Community questions, ladies and gentlemen. This is my personal favorite segment of the podcast because we can communicate with you directly, and it's awesome. You can send us all kinds of fun questions. We have some. My goodness, you're dying. Did you drink all the water?
I did. I don't know what's happening.
You want to drink some cold coffee?
No, absolutely.
Some room temperature coffee? I lost my train of thought there.
Community questions.
Community questions. Thank you so much to all of you who contribute to this podcast every week, sending us community questions, because it just extends the conversation and creates new topics, and it's always very exciting. That being said, you can reach us at Gmail. It's ItsObviousGaming@gmail.com. You can reach us on Twitter at obvious_gaming using the hashtag AskIOG. And whenever you send us a question anywhere, whether it be on social media, PSN, email, whatever it might be, always include the hashtag AskIOG so I know to include it in the show. If you just want to talk in general, that's totally fine too. I always answer emails and Facebook messages, even if you don't want it on the podcast. By all means, send us questions anytime. But specifically for ones you want read on the show, use the hashtag AskIOG. We'd greatly appreciate that. But that being said, let's jump in. First one comes from Andreas Green on Facebook. Papa John's have just started popping up everywhere in the UK. So that begs the question, Pizza Hut, Domino's, or Papa John's? And he says in parentheses, Papa bless.
Papa bless.
All right, so let me start.
Greetings. Welcome to Papa's house. That's what I have to say.
Papa John's, I think, is incredible. I think, so it's hard. There's one thing about each one of those chains that I think stands out.
I agree.
Definitely.
Papa John's cheese, to me, is the best cheese you can get on fast-made pizza, delivery pizza. But pepperoncinis in the box, it's a game changer. I love pepperoncinis, the little peppers. That come in the box.
Yes.
Those
That
are
garlic
fantastic.
sauce?
Yes, the garlic sauce.
Yes.
My favorite thing about Domino's is they have their white Alfredo sauce, and I recently have started putting that on the pizza with just pepperoni. And
That's all you guys with your freaky pizzas and stuff.
Calm down.
Hell out of here.
Calm down.
This guy.
I'm just kidding. I would eat that.
Well, shit,
I
it's
exaggerate that persona because it's funny.
But it's just like their white sauce. Their white sauce.
Alfredo sauce on pizza is really good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And their Domino's pan pizza, get the hell out of town, dude. It is
never
so good. It is so good.
In my opinion, out of all the pizzas that I've had, I feel like Domino's is always the freshest. I always feel like Domino's is the hottest.
Ever since their reversal, since they were like,
Yes.
it has been
when did that happen? I think
better.
we were seniors in high school when that happened. Because
Yeah.
remember, we got all those little
coupons.
coupon things for having like not a horrible GPA.
Yeah.
But we could go get the personal pizzas. That's when they changed their crust and everything. They've been fantastic since then.
I'm a big fan of Domino's. I order from there quite a bit.
I will say this: most times that I order from Pizza Hut, I end up feeling horrible. But the few times I actually go and sit down in Pizza Hut, to me, it's way better than getting it delivered.
And not according to Preston, the last time he had Pizza Hut in the
I had
restaurant.
the worst food poisoning in my
Really?
entire life.
Oh.
I literally I went with one of my coworkers, and as I was working, I got like heat flashes and started sweating, and I puked my
Lord.
absolute
Yeah.
ass out. For
That's why
like
I can't.
an
That's why I
entire
can't eat
day.
Burger King anymore because Burger King gave me something last time I ate it.
I like Burger King.
Yeah. But the thing that I love the most about Pizza Hut is their pepperonis. I think they have the best pepperonis out of all delivery pizza places.
I like the dunkable.
They're like
pizza.
slightly crispy, aren't they?
What are those called, Jacob?
Yes.
The donkey
Yeah.
pizzas,
And they have
the
pretzel
strips?
crust.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Salted
you're right.
pretzel crust is incredible.
You don't
It
know?
is.
Oh.
The
Have y'all
beautiful-
had that?
What?
The Pizza Hut dunkable pizza with all those dips? Because I love
Yes.
dipping stuff.
Yeah.
Talking
Dipping
about those
stuff
like
is my
know what you're
favorite.
talking about.
things you could, little crust bits you could take off.
No. It's like a full-on pizza. It's just cut in like strips, and it comes with like 4
It's
dipping
cut how, like,
sauces.
red
Sounds
sticks
awesome.
do.
So good, dude. I just like
Yeah.
anything you can dip is better.
The greatest thing
So-
about where I'm at in Orlando is where my apartment sits on the main highway. If you pull right out, there is a Pizza Hut directly next to it, a Domino's, and then you go 1 mile down where my Publix is at, and there's a Papa John's. and I get a huge discount for working for Disney with Domino's and Papa John's. So like, and they just run really good deals. Like Domino's right now is doing like
they have like a
$5.99 for a medium.
for two things,
Yeah,
but you
for
can
two
get
toppings.
different things like
Yeah.
no, not even the two toppings. Is you can get a medium pizza and or a salad or a sandwich or a chicken thing, and everything is $5.99 sequentially on top of each other.
Yeah.
So it's a good deal.
I think Pizza Hut has the best breadsticks, but everything else, I think Papa John's is better, in my opinion.
If I had to choose one, I'd pick Domino's because they have a ton of variety. They have sandwiches. They have these cool chicken
I think
things.
They got
Thankfully
salads
for
now,
me,
too.
I'm a simple man, and that's why I love Papa
you
John's.
go
I love
there and
Papa
enjoy your
John's, too.
pepperoni pizza.
Well, I like
Domino's
no,
has
I-
better pan pizza than Papa John's, but I think overall Papa John's probably has better pizza. I would
Here are
agree.
my toppings: pepperoni and sausage, pepperoni, sausage, and bacon, supreme. That's about it.
Do you like Papa's favorite at Papa John's?
What's Papa's favorite?
Is
Is it
pepperoni,
bacon,
sausage? No, it's
bacon?
pepperoni, sausage, and Tuscan cheese with like a
Yeah,
seasoning on
I
top.
actually
It's
had that
really good.
recently.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Something that I get at Papa John's is the 6 cheese Tuscan pizza.
Mm-hmm.
That one is incredible.
Let's address the elephant in the room and discuss why every single delivery, like mainstream delivery pizza place, their wings suck ass. Why?
It's because they're so cheaply made, maybe,
Sure.
and quickly made.
I
Yeah.
actually would
They're
go
just
to
frozen,
Pizza
like they
Hut,
have to be.
and theirs were actually pretty good.
Their
But
boneless
Domino's,
wings are pretty good.
Yeah, the
Pizza
boneless
Hut.
wings are fine. But Domino's and Papa John's, their wings are like this tall,
Oh, yeah, they suck.
and they're really floppy and stuff. They're not good.
Yeah, I
They're
don't
not
do
good.
that.
I
It's making me crave summits
So,
now talking about
to
wings.
the question, they said they had a lot of Papa John's popping up over there.
Yeah,
Well,
God bless them.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, Papa bless you.
You won't go wrong there.
If you've never had it, then go to town on the Papa John's. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
it is quite a treat.
I recommend if they are selling like
Where's
the
he from?
Tuscan 6 cheese.
It says in the UK.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
across the pond.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd go
If they
for it.
have the Tuscan 6 cheese, I believe over there, get that. That is my favorite Papa John's pizza. And get those peppers. They're delicious. In fact, I started buying my own thing of pepperoni, so whenever I even made pizza at my house, I could just eat the peppers with it.
Good. Yeah,
Definitely
I
try
remember
all-
you have like a whole
Yeah.
jar of those. Yeah.
Try Papa's favorite as well. That's since you're Papa blessing people, I think
Yeah.
you need to eat his favorite.
My favorite pizza toppings of all time is pepperoni, bacon, banana peppers, and feta cheese.
Banana peppers are amazing.
Speaking of pizza, when I was in Minnesota, we went to this pizza place that was on the Food Network for having some of the best pizza.
Okay.
It was unreal. I got a wild mushroom pizza. And then
Wow.
I got a pizza called the Fire Breathing Dragon, which
Wow.
had jerk chicken, a pineapple relish, and like this basil stuff. And it was like hot and sweet. It was so freaking
Sounds
good.
kinda good.
I thought of you when I ate it because I knew that you would absolutely have
This
thrown
is-
up if you would have eaten it. It was so good.
This is reminding me of the pizza that me and Elliot created so many years ago.
Spicy wiener.
The spicy wiener pizza.
Amen, brother.
Now, this might sound disgusting or weird, and
think
it
it's
is.
okay.
It's weird. But me and Elliot always used to eat the DiGiorno Rising Crust pepperoni pizza.
DiGiorno?
Every single weekend we would eat those while we watched football. And then so we got so bored that we like grated up hot dog and
See, I'm not a fan of the hot dog on the pizza.
so we put the hot dog on the
I think
pizza.
the hot sauce on it is good.
Yeah, we put the hot dog on the pizza, but it was in little bits, and then put hot sauce on it and cooked it. And that's how you have spicy wiener pizza.
Speaking of false advertisement, DiGiorno needs to get sued for their what's their slogan? It's not delivery. It's
DiGiorno?
You're damn right. It's not delivery because it's not even close. Like I
DiGiorno's
can't.
great though.
I think
It's
okay.
on a whole less level than
Yeah, it is.
delivery. I can't stand frozen pizza.
Don't totally agree with that.
Oh man,
I'm a frozen pizza
Oh,
connoisseur. I can cook a frozen pizza better than anyone you know.
I think frozen
Wait a
pizza is
second.
good enough.
Dude, we need to have a frozen
it's
pizza
like
cook-off.
yeah, it's good enough. Like
Good
it's
enough.
fine.
But I would
like,
any day of the week I would
cook
always
off-
take a fast food pizza.
Yeah, if I want pizza, I'm not gonna throw one in the freaking oven. I'm gonna order a pizza and get a damn good pizza.
Can't totally.
I hardly
agree with
ever
that.
have frozen pizzas anymore.
Have y'all
You
heard?
know what, Preston? Go fuck yourself.
This is bullshit.
Excuse my language.
Have y'all heard of Blaze Pizza before?
Blaze?
Blaze Pizza.
Is it frozen?
No, it's
Does
in.
it have weed in
it's
it?
in. What? No. It's in. Yeah, dude. 420, dude. No, Blaze Pizza's in Disney Springs. It's. Have you ever been? You went to Uncle Mattio's with me when it was
I
open,
did,
right?
yeah.
Where you can. It's almost like you can pick your type of crust. You can pick all your toppings in a whole line. But Blaze works where it's like a. I'm trying to think. It's like a personal pizza, but I think it's like 10 inches or something like that. But it's like you pay $9.95.
How many inches is it?
Like 10. Hey, yeah, man. But the good thing is you pay like $9 for this personal pizza, and you can get as many things on it as you want. And it's all like they cook a brick oven right there, and they just like beep you when yours is ready. But they have goat cheese, and I don't know. Do any of you like goat cheese?
No, I was about to bring up goat cheese. I'm not into the goat cheese.
Goat cheese on a pizza is
I
incredible.
bet you it's good. I like ricotta cheese on a pizza as well.
Ricotta cheese is very good as well.
Now, speaking of Disney World and pizza, if this isn't happening, it needs to happen. And since you need to talk to the high authorities
Planet
there.
Pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
it's
needs to
already
be there needs to be a pizza for the adults and the kids that's in the shape of Mickey Mouse ears, where Mickey Mouse's head is the pizza for the two mom and dad to share.
And the ears are,
and
for,
the
the
ears
kids?
are for the little kids.
What about a family of... That's for like a family of 4.
Yeah.
What if there's families of 6?
Well, then
You get
don't
2
order the
pizzas,
Mickey
bro.
Mouse pizza.
You get the one-eared Mickey.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
I'll let you
thank
pick
you.
it to Walt himself.
That sounds like really hard and annoying to make, but it's a cool idea.
I mean, you just make 2 little pizzas and just sit them in a particular
Wouldn't be that
area.
hard.
It's just dough.
But it seems unnecessary because they bring it to you and you're just going to tear the ears off anyway. So why don't
Yeah.
they just bring it to you
Because
already
it's
torn off?
Disney.
What if they already did that?
Everything is about looks
Yeah.
there. Everything.
All right, I think we've been on this one for too long.
Yeah. The only other
I guess
pizza-
Papa John's is our answer.
Yeah, the only other pizza thing I wanted to say was when we worked in Woodstock for 15 straight weeks. We went to a
Dominic's,
food.
dude.
What was it called? Dominic's?
I think it was Dominic's.
Yeah, Dominic's.
Something.
It was a food truck that they had a brick oven in the food truck and made these little pizzas that were just the right size for individuals. And
That Staten Island, dude.
the Staten Island was incredible.
So good.
And we called it Pizza Tuesdays because he'd be at this restaurant called the Truck and Tap. It was a bar, like a really trendy bar that had a different food truck come in every day, so had different food there every day. And we called it Pizza Tuesdays. Every Tuesday we got those pizzas.
Those food trucks are
I am
unreal, dude.
so
like
hungry
90%.
right now.
Me too. I
of them
can't
are
wait
so
for that
good.
Taco Bell. I'm
I know.
freaking out.
So
the
good.
other one from Andreas. He says, also, have you guys ever considered doing short sketches for the channel?
No.
Nope.
Yes.
I wouldn't think we've even considered it, have we?
No. I think I said as a joke, if we ever made a channel trailer, we'd make like a mock-up of like The Office for like a channel trailer.
I think the closest we ever came to sketches were our Pokemon Go videos.
Yeah.
But even then, we were just being ourselves.
Yeah.
But that was the closest thing we came to like a vlog / let's play.
Do you want me to write the first sketch?
Sure, man.
All right, I'll write
Pin
it.
the script. I'll find a director of photography. We'll
Yeah,
knock
you
it
got
out.
it.
No, we haven't actually ever really truly considered it, but I don't know. Maybe one day we're bored. And
We have so
time.
much time.
Yeah.
So much time to do
If we had the time, maybe we'd try to do something. I don't know what we'd do, but yeah, we have not. But thank you, Andreas, for your questions. The next one comes from Brandon. He says, I love this one. This is great. Quote, you made a deal with the devil, and after a few years he comes to collect. You challenge him to a 1v1 in a video game and game mode of your choice. The devil, always up for a challenge, accepts. You win, you keep your soul. You lose, he gets your soul. Which video game and which game mode do you feel confident enough to beat the devil at? So awesome. I already know what I'd do. This isn't even my favorite Halo, but I was so good at Halo 4 that I would wipe the floor with the devil in Halo 4. I was so good at it. So I feel the most confident in that, or Call of Duty 3, because I was a monster in Call of Duty 3. And I'm good at a lot of shooters, but, well, maybe I should say Doom, because you play in
I was
hell.
going to say Doom.
You and I are unstoppable
I
at
know.
Doom, hence the title of the series.
Yeah.
You know what? I was thinking about this for a second, and I was like, what am I really good at? And everything that I think I'm pretty good at, I'm just all right at. But I will crush anyone in Peggle.
You're right, dude.
I will absolutely obliterate anyone.
You are very good at
in
Peggle. Zach and I used to sit in our geometry class in high school
right.
and play Peggle on mobile and not listen to anything the teacher had to say.
Yep.
I almost
Fast.
failed geometry.
Yeah.
I had to do an extra project so I wouldn't fail at the end.
Nice.
So
For me, it would be Mario Kart 64. Any of the Mushroom Kingdom tracks. I never lost.
I know. We did a Let's Play like when we first started the channel and Jacob slaughtered us. I think Preston beat him off camera once.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But you won the whole
I
video.
just like, even to this day, I know those tracks like the back of my hand.
Mhm.
Like I never stopped playing.
It's awesome.
I played that game.
There's like
way
never
too
been
much.
a multiplayer game that I've just like been like, oh, I never lose.
Except for Doom.
Except for Doom, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
I don't know what
I'm
it is
way
about
more
that
into
game.
like single player stuff than I am multiplayer. I always have been.
You know what this question reminds me of? It reminds me of the end of Tenacious D where they face off against the devil. That song's epic.
That sounded like the storyline of Guacamelee in terms of a deal with
Every
the
single
devil.
time I think about a deal with the devil, I think about playing in Guitar Hero 3. Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's every
I
single.
saw
always
that song
wish
live.
that-
I saw Charlie Daniels live.
Yeah,
It's such a shame you couldn't play that song just like in quick play.
in quick play.
It's such
Yeah, I
I was
agree.
always bummed about that.
I love that game. That's one of my favorite games.
Yeah. Brandon, that was a fantastic question. I love that. The next one comes from Ian Scott. He says, aside from Mario Kart, Smash Bros, and games like that, what game really defined your childhood gaming experience? When I was younger, I really enjoyed playing Ape Escape on the original PlayStation, and I made it a ritual to play through it every summer until my disc broke last year.
Probably for me, it would be Pokemon. I played those versions a ton back in the day. I pretty much grew up playing my Game Boy. So
I would say Spider-Man for the PS1.
I have your copy under my bed. I just saw it today.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
right. Yep, Spider-Man for the PS1. That like
You're talking about like the comic style. It has like
correct.
Stan Lee in it.
Yes,
and
that's
stuff.
correct. Where
Greetings, true believers, at the beginning.
yes, that's the exact Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I played
where
that
you
on
end up
N64.
Carnage chases you around at the end.
Oh, that part
That
used
was-
to scare
Oh, it
the
was-
crap
yeah,
out
it
of
was
me when I was a
horrifying.
kid.
I will never forget. That was so. I mean, even now we'll have video games where we'll just like binge on it forever, or ones that are like you want to replay it all the time. It was the summer when I have no idea how old I was when I was playing that, 6 or 7 or something like that. And I had a bunk bed and I had one of the TVs that could swivel up on the walls, like a super small TV, but my PlayStation was hooked up to it. And one day in the summer, I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna see how many times I can beat this. And I beat it 7 times in one day, which obviously I had on all the cheats you could put in. I'm pretty sure if you typed in Aunt May, you got like you were invincible or some crap. You could get all the different costumes. But I played that game 7 times in one day, and that's like what made me like totally love video games, is like how much time I spent playing that. And of course Obi-Wan for the original Xbox.
Yeah.
That's a given. I've talked about that like every podcast,
Mhm.
so I won't.
Mine has to be Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
That's just like when I think of gaming as a kid, it was Ocarina of Time. That's the first like game of that caliber that I ever played and actually beat from like start to finish. I would get off, I'd get out of school in first grade, and I'd beg my mom to take me to Blockbuster, and I'd rent Ocarina of Time every single time. I never started a new game, though. Since the saves were actually in the cartridge, I would just see where other people had saved, and I would just start from wherever they were. Didn't know what I was doing. I'd literally just roll around and just do stuff. And and then one day I got in the car, and I asked my mom, like, can you please go to Blockbuster? Please go to Blockbuster. And my little sister was like, didn't you buy him the game? And like, I was like, what? And my mom was like, you ruined the surprise.
Yeah.
And my mom had got me that game, and I like had to start from the beginning. And it took me a while to get through that game, but that's really the game that made me like a big time gamer. So I have a very special place in my heart for Zelda.
I don't know what game or games I cherished over all the others as a kid, because I played so many different ones. There wasn't really anything specific that I stuck to, but if I had to pick one, probably the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. I played those so much as a kid. Those are the ones I always went back to, at least. Every other game I played, I would just play and be done with it for the most part, but I, for some reason, went back to Tony Hawk all the time, 1 through 4. So I love those. I mean, I played nearly every Tony Hawk game since then, but as a kid, specifically Pro Skater 1 through 4, loved those all through elementary school. So
Yeah. The Jedi Outcast games, like Jedi Outcast 2 and then Jedi Academy, because those both played really about the same. But I went back to those games for years on PC. Like those are other huge ones when I was a kid. I want to say I've played through each of those at least 10 times because I was obsessed with them. But yeah, those and Spider-Man is like what I by far like, where I would just zone out. I'd be gone for hours playing those games.
yeah. That was a great question. Jacob, you said Pokemon, right?
Yes, and he said not Smash Bros, but I did spend a ton of time playing Smash Bros too with friends.
Yeah. Another one from me, and he says, what is your favorite game with licensed material? In parentheses, he says anime, movies, etc.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, definitely Kingdom Hearts for me too, by far. I just freaking love Disney so much. There's a harder one. You have to think about that one.
I'll just say
Star Wars probably for Zach, right?
I'll say,
Yeah.
I don't know, probably Batman, the Arkham.
Oh, I didn't think about that either.
Those are probably my
I mean,
favorite.
Arkham City's still my favorite game to this
Is
day.
that Casey?
I don't think so.
Well, then what's going on?
I don't know. My dogs are barking up a storm down there. Yeah, Batman and Kingdom Hearts for me, for sure. Ian, those questions were fantastic. Thank you, my friend.
I'm sure it'll be Spider-Man coming soon.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You know what I'm hoping when we were talking about Spider-Man on PS1? I hope in this new Spider-Man they have just a ridiculous amount of alternate costumes,
That'd be cool.
Yes,
like traditional ones and just brand new ones we've never seen. Have you seen what Spider-Man looks like? His new suit that they designed specifically for this game.
No, I don't think so.
It looks. Is he still your background? Oh, it's cool.
It's Zelda now.
Oh, okay. Well, makes sense.
Get him pumped.
But it's an original spider suit design. It looks so awesome. I'll have to show it to you.
Pull it up, guy.
And Preston pulled up. I'll read the next one while he's doing that. The next one comes from Jeff Peavy. We have 3 questions from Mr. Peavy.
Peavy.
Peavy like the amp.
There's a pitcher named Jake Peavy. I used to play baseball.
Oh.
I think he's retired now. I'm not sure.
Like got a white spider thing, and it's like on his clothes and stuff.
Person showing him Spider-Man currently.
Awesome.
I just like all the white in it. I think it looks really cool.
That is awesome.
So he says, this made me laugh so hard. I think this, not that anything's about what you said is funny, it just makes me smile for some reason. It says, "Good morning, fellows. Have you ever thought of the best experience you have ever had while gaming? What games would you say bring you the most nostalgic feelings?"
Let me see that.
Good morning, fellows. I love that.
Honestly, I'm just going to say Halo 3. Just because I put so many hours into that game that there's like so many memories that come to mind when I play it.
Yeah. I've played that game at least a couple times a year since launch, and that's literally been 10 years as of September. So that's probably the longest I've ever played a single game.
Agreed. That is the most replayable thing that like I've continued to go. I know I was talking about Star Wars and Spider-Man and all that, and I've like played through those a lot, but like I don't play through them anymore. Like this is something that I still go back to, and I'll play. I think I've literally played at least a match to 15 matches a year of Halo 3 since it came out.
Yeah, another nostalgic one for me is when I randomly will come across a clip from Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and I just remember playing. There's parts of me that like parts of Oblivion more than I like Skyrim, and Skyrim's incredible, but something about Oblivion is just so nostalgic to me, especially the first time you join the Dark Brotherhood, because it's more special in Oblivion, because I remember killing a random guy because I wanted something he had. Didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, I got away with it. The guards didn't see me. And I slept in the wilderness in a tent randomly, just like get my health back up. And I was awoken in the night by a shadowy figure. He's like, I know what you've done. And he gives me the note and he's like, come find us when you're ready. I was like, what just happened? I got so pumped. But yeah.
What was that for?
Dark Brotherhood and Oblivion.
Okay. That's cool.
So
I actually bought that game because of how much you liked it. Like you were telling me about it, and I was like, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, I loved Oblivion, and one of my favorite parts was the in the Imperial City, the Colosseum. You could fight like gladiators. I thought that was so awesome as a kid.
That's cool.
So yeah, those are 2 specific ones that are, just to be brief, that are definitely very nostalgic. Anything you wanted to add, Jacob?
Yeah. Probably my best moments were either playing through the original Kingdom Hearts as a kid, or all the many nights I spent raiding or running dungeons in World of Warcraft with friends that I had made online in that game. I had some really good friends when I was playing that game that I'd met through the game, and it was really fun. Just like joking around with them and stuff like that. So
nice.
You can joke around with us? Am I not funny?
You're all right, you know. You weren't my WoW friends.
Yeah, whatever.
My raid friends.
I think there's kind of like 2 parts to the question. What games would you say bring the most nostalgic? Has to be Ocarina of Time again. But probably one of my best experiences, just to say something else, is probably Fallout 3. It's just I never played an RPG really of that caliber, or hardly any RPGs at all until that game, and I had absolutely no expectations for that game, and it blew me away on like literally every single level. And I had never been so like obsessed and fascinated with a game in my life up until that point. So
I'll totally agree with you on that, because I hadn't played it when it came out. Garrett, when we were in high school, gave me his Game of the Year edition. And I played through it because I'd never played through an RPG before, and that was my first time through. And I was like glued for days on end to Fallout 3. So I completely agree with that.
And that was a good entry drug for me, because I play some freaking nerdy shit now.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, for sure. I'll just throw it back to Spider-Man for as far as best gaming experience. Spider-Man 2 on PS2, the first time I played that, rocked my world. So the next one from Jeff Peavy says, also, have you played The Old Republic on PC? It's an MMO, and I wish they could bring it to console. We also wish they could bring it to console.
We totally agree with all of that. Absolutely.
You played it a little bit too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got like my lightsaber, and then at that point I was like, okay, that's cool.
Because me and Garrett went through all the training, got our lightsaber, and we did a decent amount of missions. We got to like 27, 28, something like that. Enough to like want to play it more, but neither of us had the capabilities to.
Yeah, when we were in community college, we would come home every night and attempt to study for a test and give up in 5 minutes and just go play Old Republic.
Yep.
So we did that for a while.
I would love if that's actually I don't want to come to console because that will consume my life.
I don't think it's going to. It's been way too long.
Yeah.
I just
I
I'm surprised it never did though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I am surprised.
I feel like it would have done really well.
I think it would have done
console.
great. Yeah.
So no, I really did love it at the time we played it. I remember Zach, one of the most generous things he's ever done, at least in a video game.
That broke my heart.
Yeah,
when I did it just for you.
We killed our first Sith Lord, like Sith apprentice, and it was the coolest experience when we like gone through Jedi training, got our lightsabers, done a few missions as like Jedi Knights.
Yeah, it was our first like major boss.
Yeah, and we fought this guy with like a lightsaber battle. We're like, this is so epic! Like fighting with like your friend in their Star Wars universe. Like this is so cool. We kill him and he dropped, and we neither one of us had found a Jedi robe yet. We wanted one so bad.
We were just wearing like the most generic clothes you can imagine.
Yeah, and he dropped like a really cool looking brown Jedi robe, and me and Zach just had that moment because it's the loot where like no one gets their own loot. You have to like fight for the loot, and we had that moment where we're just like, what are we gonna do? And Zach was like, he just looked at me and goes, you take it. He gave it to me.
And then I was like, I'll get the next one.
Yeah.
And then we killed the next boss, and it was like, here's a handgun.
Yeah. I remember someone dropped a white, because I remember you started with a white robe.
I did.
You eventually upgraded to a brown one.
I wanted that classic brown.
Yeah, you eventually got a brown one, but someone dropped a white one, or someone dropped a white one for me. I was like, dude, I got you a robe, and it was white. But it was better than nothing.
It was better than nothing.
And we dual wielded lightsabers. We were both, what was that class called?
Sentinel,
that's right. And we eventually got to a point where a buddy of ours from high school paid to play the game, and he had all these extra lightsaber crystals, so he gave us like red and purple and green and stuff. We changed all of our lightsabers to different colors.
I eventually paid to play.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was it? Remember when I got that laptop?
Yes.
But it ended up like totally crapping out, so I was able to take it back and get my money back for it.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what happened. Then I was like, I'm gonna go do something else. I don't know. But yeah, I paid to play for like 2 or 3 weeks where I could actually go and do stuff. And that's right, because remember you had to sprint everywhere, and I could get on my speeder and right away.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I'd have to wait like. I'd be like, hey, let's go do this mission. I'd get there, and I'd just like go do something
Take
else.
off on a speeder. I'm just like...
like Garrett would have
like
to
3
run.
hours later, I get
You'd
there.
have to wait for your sprint to recharge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Fantastic.
They put that limitation on the free-to-play?
Yes, they
Your
did.
sprint had to
Well,
recharge?
eventually you get to a certain level where you can sprint infinitely.
Yeah, but you had to play through like the first 10 levels.
That's
or
weird.
something.
Why couldn't you sprint for...
I don't know. It was
That's dumb.
bizarre.
I don't know why games do that. Period. Now,
Yeah.
Like, there should be infinite.
Yeah, even like
sprint.
Skyrim.
Unless
I
it's
hate
like an
stamina.
RPG in like Fallout where it makes sense to run out of
It
stamina.
makes sense in Skyrim.
I guess.
And like
Just
The
as
Witcher,
far as
not
running,
The Witcher,
I
like
hate,
Dark Souls
yeah.
and stuff.
I like how
stamina.
Final Fantasy did it, where that like little mini game, you just push the button at the right time and your.
You know what's
stamina
funny?
goes all the way
I
back
never figure out how to do that because the bar would annoy me so much because it's so close to your character's head that it would distract me the whole time that I kept it off. And that's one pet peeve I have with Zelda still that they haven't changed is that the stamina bar is always right next to his head. I'm like, put it somewhere else on the screen. Like I realize, it's supposed to be convenient. Like you never have to look away from Link, but it's like just on his head the whole time. It drives me insane. I hope you can turn that off. Like I'd rather just fall off a cliff not knowing how much stamina I have left.
I guess
have
you
to
better
look
not
at
play
that.
the new Zelda.
Yeah, I better not. I'll just give away my Switch pre-order.
Give me your Switch, I guess.
Okay. The next one, or the last one, comes from Jeff Peavy. He says, so everyone knows now bananas are delicious, but when you eat bananas, what do you have with them? Example, chocolate syrup, marshmallows, oranges.
They're great on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
They are, man. I like putting just peanut butter on bananas.
Peanut butter on a banana is great, and so is Nutella.
Oh, yeah.
Usually when I just eat a banana, it's just the banana. So
I agree. Yeah, normally when you eat banana.
Frozen banana, stick it in the freezer.
I've never done that.
Take one out, put it in a blender, add a scoop of peanut butter, maybe a little bit of chocolate syrup or something. Maybe some protein powder. Make the best protein shake you've ever had.
It sounds great. You know my favorite milkshake is?
The consistency of the banana is literally like ice cream.
Mm.
So you can make like the consistency of a milkshake and it tastes like a milkshake, but with no ice cream.
Yeah, that's great.
That's how I like my bananas.
I use bananas in the favorite. I used to make milkshakes, and I used to make banana Oreo milkshakes. They were always my favorite.
My favorite milkshake on the face of the earth, doesn't matter where it's from, is peanut butter banana.
I always go with peanut butter chocolate if I go like somewhere and order one.
Mm-hmm. And occasionally I like putting banana slices on Honey Nut Cheerios. It's very good.
Nice.
That's very good.
Very nice.
Yeah, Jeff, excellent questions, my friend. Thank you very much. Now, forgive me, I think it's Hyung Sung Pak. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. He says, your all-time sound... we discussed this recently, too, so you could refer to this episode if you haven't listened to it already. But he says, your all-time favorite soundtrack from games and movies. He says...
Haven't we answered this before?
I don't know if we've gotten the same question before. We did a topic of our favorite video game soundtracks. I already listed some of mine, so I don't have to think about it. I just put Doom, Prince of Persia Warrior Within, Witcher 3, Skyrim, Assassin's Creed 2 and 3, Star Wars for movies, and Harry Potter for movies.
Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, I don't care what anyone says, that is like the best Star Wars soundtrack. Especially when it's topped with Duel of Fates.
Yeah, Duel of Fates is incredible.
That is
That's
my
a great
favorite
song.
cinematic song.
My
ever.
favorite theme from Force Awakens was Rey's theme. It really
Yes.
grew on me, especially after seeing it a few times.
I like the Wonder Woman thing.
Wonder Woman. Yeah.
I like that one.
That still gets me pumped, especially in her standalone movie trailer when it plays the song again.
I'm a
It's
big
gotta be
fan
Doom.
of the Lord of the
Doom's
Rings soundtrack.
Oh, that's classic. Like I said, if you ever want to get pumped up to do anything in your life and you need some encouragement, just listen to Riders of Rohan from the Lord of the Rings soundtrack.
So good.
Nice.
You feel like you can take on the world.
Doom, Witcher 3, Fallout 3/4, Skyrim. Good soundtracks.
Yeah, Witcher 3 is definitely up there for me too.
Yeah, we did a whole topic on this where we went in depth if you haven't already heard it, but it's not too long ago. It was a few weeks ago, I think. Maybe more. Next one comes from RTS5288. He says, this is pretty fun. If you were an Optic or FaZe, what would your name be? Those are pro esports teams, if I'm not mistaken. Also, give me a peek at your trash talk in that situation. Would you be more of the recent teen MLGs with a bunch of obscenities and mom insults, or would you, as I would, like to trash talk in a more sophisticated manner, such as, quit those shenanigans or I'll have to discipline you rabble-rousers. Or while teabagging them, you just ask, is it tea time yet? Basically, give me a peek of your life as an MLG star.
My name would be No Scope Yo Mom.
Okay.
That
You
would
have to be
it.
Optic, no scope your mom, or
Optic,
FaZe,
no scope your mom.
You have to make sure all the letters are all, some are capital, some are
Yeah.
lowercase and stuff, and like an E would be backwards, it'd be a 3.
Yeah. No, I'd be the most juvenile trash talker of all time. I would say some pretty absurd, borderline, you can't say anywhere things, probably.
You could be like how you used to be on Xbox 360 when you took it too seriously. You'd be like, why isn't anyone using their mic? Put your mic in.
Yep. That would be
I
me.
don't think pro teams. have a
Zach used to
problem with that.
trash talk a bit for fun, didn't you?
I'd
Yeah.
probably like kick people if I was next to him.
Well, the only time I like really trash talked, like when even I was just like messing around, was when I was like good at something. Because there'd be times where you trash talk and you like perform horribly, and you're like, this just makes you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, I had that moment where I'd finally started ranking up in Halo when I became decent at it, and I would go into the Lone Wolf playlist, and as soon as I would hit the lobby, I would act so serious. Again, there'd be like, I want everyone in this lobby to know that you suck, and I'm gonna get first place, and I hate you all. And I would just go in there, and they would all start getting like really mad, and like even though I was just like joking around, I would just come in there so intense, and would get so pissed off, and then I would win, and they would all immediately quit out of the lobby afterwards.
That's when you know you had true victory.
That's
What would
right.
your name be? Your Optic name?
Money be raining.
Or you can be a FaZe player.
Oh yeah.
I'll be Optic because I like the sound of that, even though I have no idea what.
It's
any
already
of
the
that
name
means.
of an MLGT, man. Get some originality.
No, I'm saying that's what he said. It has to be.
Yeah, you have to be a part of the team.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I have to choose
really?
a
Everyone
team.
that's on
part
the
of the
team
So
question.
you'd be like
Optic
Optic
something.
Foursquare.
I'd be
Optic Falcon
Optic,
Blazer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
That'd
my
be something
name would
trendy like Optic Illusion or something, or
Yeah.
like Optic Spherical.
Well, you can't be too trendy because you might get traded away to another team. So then you have to be something.
Not if I
whatever
kick
your name
ass.
is.
And take names.
Well, then you'll stay on the
I'd
team.
be,
I'd be the guy that wears like a chain around his neck and get a grill and get cornrows and wear a diamond flat bill hat and everything.
I'd be Optic. Don't assume my gamer tag.
Pretty good. I like it. What about you, Preston? What'd you say your name was
I
again?
said Optic, no scope, and your mom.
Okay, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, it's pretty good.
I remember recently a Battlefield video me and Jacob did. Jacob got killed by someone, and I avenged Jacob's death. And Jacob said, teabag that guy for me, and I teabagged him as a joke, and the guy sent me a message like, LMAO, like you pissed or something. It was hilarious. So, good times. That was a fun one. Thank you, RTS.
No, I would not be childish and obscene. From what I've seen from like specifically fighting tournaments and Smash Brothers tournaments,
Smash Mouth
if
tournaments.
the like salty you are, like that is absolute victory for the person. They just like sit there smiling as the other person goes crazy. So I would never want to give my opponent that satisfaction. So I would just take it as as well as possible.
This one's very, very open, and we don't have a whole lot of time to go into it, so I apologize. Spicy Boy. Love that Twitter handle.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Turning me on.
We briefly discussed this in the past, but it says, describe your dream open world game, No Limits. If you want to hear mine, I have the whole... If you want to hear me talk for like an hour and a half about this topic, I've said this 100 times. If you're a newcomer, if you've only been with us a short while, go to our YouTube channel, our podcast playlist, the It's Obvious podcast. Search for our topic called Pitch the Next Star Wars Video Game. I pitch a massive open world Star Wars game. That's the game I would want, is a Star Wars open world game.
A kick-ass Spider-Man game. So my wish is about to be fulfilled.
You're right. You're right. Absolutely.
I know this has already been done to some extent in different games, but I would like a game solely based in whatever city, but the world that John Wick takes in and how that assassin organization runs.
I'm pumped for John Wick Chapter 2.
Coming out very soon. Very soon.
John Wick Chapter 2. You know what I was going to say? I forgot to say, when I was a kid, I used to fantasize about an open world Batman game where you drive the Batmobile, and we eventually got that in Arkham Knight. Yep.
I'm sure your kid self would have just crapped his pants.
If I saw that in action as a child, it probably would have killed me.
Yeah. You ever think that, like, if you could just take a game and just like go back in time and just be like, look at this shit. Yeah. Like, you're going to do this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That'd have been cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you, look at this.
What about you, Jacob?
Hey, me. I just want that Harry Potter game that we always talk about.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But
open world Harry Potter, either MMO or RPG.
Especially just starting out, getting a letter, and then going in and buying all your stuff.
Yeah.
How glorious.
Oh, that'd be so
I wanted
good.
an MMO. I wanted to be an MMO.
Mm-hmm. Maybe one day we'll keep dreaming.
That's right.
Until we die, we'll take it to the grave. Sam Harris says, do you think a universal console is possible? Having one console in every publisher focusing on game development.
Yeah, it's called PC.
Wow.
I don't think it's possible because everyone thrives on competition.
Mm-hmm.
But
capitalism is a thing.
Exactly. But I will say I would love it if that was a thing, if everyone could have one unified idea that took the best parts of
I bet
everything.
you're the same kind of guy that wants a one world government, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Illuminati.
I think it'd just be cool if we could figure out cross.
Jacob, I think you need to leave. I can't even see John. I can't even say John Wick Chapter 2, so you're not alone.
I just want cross-platform online gameplay. You know, I just want to play
that
with
would
other people
be
on
amazing.
consoles.
Yeah, that alone would be cool.
In a perfect world, a one console would be cool. But in an age of just, competitiveness and the free
I love
capitalism,
the
it can never. Yeah, because the better PlayStation does, the better Xbox gonna have to do.
Yeah,
it just benefits.
I'm sure Sam realizes that.
Yeah.
But that is a good question though. Do I think it's possible? Absolutely. I don't think it'll. I think we all know it won't
happen. You can't monopolize that because there's always going to be another company that's always going to want to up the ante. So that's never physically plausible. But
it's true. There's always someone who thinks they're going to be able to do it better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, as people,
sorry, I was thinking about something else.
And just like that, that's not good for the game. Because if there's one console, like I said, there's nothing encouraging them to get better and better and better. Because if that's the only system people are going to buy and have to buy games for, there's no incentive to make it better and stuff. Granted, there's always PC. Like, are we accounting PC in this perfect world? Because they're always going to be pushing the ante and going. So.
You're absolutely correct.
Essentially, this is the PC. This is a world without consoles in general. Everything's just played on PC.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like the opening to a really stupid movie. Imagine a world without consoles. These questions, Aloy. Maybe the answers are better than not knowing whatever he says. It's when the machines take over. Sam, thank you so much for your question. Thank you to each and every one of you that took time out of your day or whatever you were doing when you sent us these questions. We greatly appreciate it. All those were a ton of fun, so I really appreciate all those.
Thank you.
And again, you can reach out to us in any of the options you have, social media, email, PSN, or Xbox. And The easiest is Twitter and email, but feel free, if it's more convenient for you to send a question elsewhere, by all means do so.
It always blows my mind because I know when we started this podcast, we were just like, oh, please, somebody, for the love of God, comment on what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, if we ever got a question, it'd be so cool. And now we get like consistently like tons of questions and stuff. It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's
that's
very
really cool,
humbling, and we love it. So the last thing I want to bring up, this is really, really random, but our buddy Norm from the community asked if we would at least this week, touch on what we think of Dragon Ball Super. And I'm going to ask this question just out of respect for him because I want to support his question. But he said, I was going to ask the community if there's multiple Dragon Ball Z fans that are watching Dragon Ball Super and would be interested in us, not necessarily on this podcast, but maybe on a side video if there's enough people interested in us reviewing episodes of Dragon Ball Super and sharing our thoughts. Let us know if you're interested in something like that. I told him I'd ask. I told him we probably won't talk about it on the podcast every week, but overall, I know Jake and I mentioned it briefly. We're loving Super so far. It's really good.
Yeah. It's hard to talk about it right now because there's not much has happened. So.
Right. It's just retelling Battle of the Gods, just a slightly different version of it. But it's been great so far.
I'll eventually start watching it. I'm excited too. Mm-hmm. Hopefully the English dub's on Crunchyroll.
The animation is fantastic too. I remember we were all nervous when they were showing promos. It looked awful.
It was so bad when it initially released.
Yeah, but
bad.
The animation is great. All the voice acting is fantastic and very entertaining so far.
Reminds me of old times.
Amen. But yeah, I think that'll do it. And I'll just reiterate one more time. Remember, keep an eye out for our giveaway video that explains all the details and how to do everything. And that's where you'll kind of submit yourself for that giveaway that will occur on February 28th, or at least that week of release. We'll announce the winner of the Horizon giveaway, and then later that week we'll announce the Zelda giveaway. We might do it in one video just to make it simple. And a lot of you guys have potential to win, and like we said, we like to give away games as often as possible. We're going to do that as many times as we can this year. And overall, thank you for your support. This has been a very long episode.
Absolutely. And to read it, to recap on that, if you never enter anything, this is the one thing you need to enter. We don't have hundreds of thousands of people that are going to be entering this. You are going to enter a pool of relatively small people. So this is, if you're ever going to win a competition, this is probably the one you have the highest chance to win. So
that's a great point. Yeah.
So just go for it, man. You got nothing to lose.
Amen. I've said amen a lot. I don't mind saying amen because it's a great word.
Amen.
I say it a lot
amen,
every day.
Brother.
That was the ItsObviousGaming podcast, the show where my three best friends and I get together every single week to discuss video games. Obviously, to reiterate, if you are not listening to us at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming, that's where you can find all of our content, which includes the video version of this podcast, reviews, the occasional review, definitely the occasional unboxing, and we put out a Let's Play, do a couple of Let's Plays every single week. If you want us anywhere else, we are on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, pretty much every other podcasting service. We are on Stitcher, right?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
All right, we're on a lot of podcasting services, so. But gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you. It's been a pleasure having Zach here, and it's been a pleasure having the community as involved as they were with all these questions. Please keep them coming. Please comment and like this video. That would help us out a ton. And, just get involved in this like awesome community that we've built. This is like what we've wanted since the beginning is we've wanted a set of followers that can just join us in this journey, from us building this podcast and this channel and stuff. And it's coming along better than I ever thought it could. So we are all very grateful for you guys, and you guys are awesome. Yep. So
took the words right out of my mouth, Preston.
Amen, man.
Yeah, amen, brother.
Amen.
But if that's it, we'll catch you guys next week.
We will. Let's go get some Taco Bell.
That's
right. Let's go, boys.
Bye, boys.
Goodbye.